Stocks back to the upside here this morning, ever so slightly, coming on the back of what we saw late in the day yesterday. A nice rebound into the close after the selling that really took over for most of the midday and into the close yesterday. A ton of things to talk about this morning. Individual movers rolling around, just looking at ORCL here to the downside on a bond. They're going to raise some debt, $15 billion from a corporate bond sale for Oracle. That got hit pretty hard yesterday. LAC, the big one today. Lithium stocks in general, right across the board, absolutely ripping here. 75% at the highs here for Lithium America, the government's next target here, the U.S. government's next target for investment. We all remember what happened to MP on the lithium front as well, so we'll touch on LAC coming up here. Micron, nice earnings report as well. We'll touch on Micron a little bit. I mean, we're back to the downside right now. The initial move to the upside, though. The good news note, I guess, today. No Fed speakers, no economic data, no nothing to get in the way of Powell at lunchtime yesterday.
Well, apparently the market's richly valued, Brendo, according to Fed Chair Powell, of course.
Not that he's ever cared about that before.
I don't remember him commenting about equity prices in the past, so it was kind of a peculiar time. Nonetheless, those are the comments he made, and we saw all what happened in the afternoon there. You know, got to take it in stride, though, because we were coming off all-time highs, right? So, I mean, I don't know what to make of that. But anyway, Brandon, there's a lot to talk about. You mentioned Lithium Americas. Baba also in focus. What a move. Almost 9% here in the pre-market for Alibaba, as they're going to really accelerate their AI spend. Oracle in focus as well, obviously, with Stargate, OpenAI, SoftBank. They were announcing, or they were showing off that new Texas facility. Altman was there. Down in Texas. Boeing and Palantir also looking to collaborate, Brendo, in the defense space.
That plant that they're building down there is, I was watching a video a couple weeks back on YouTube about it. They were showing a drone shot going over top of it. It's just mind-boggling how big this place is.
Perfect place, Texas. Right?
And the speed at which they were putting it up and getting it ready, and it sounds like they're almost there.
Yeah. Multiple phases too, Brendo.
Yeah, just a quick note on Apple starting to move to the upside here. There's a note from UBS. iPhone 17 demand may limit Apple ASP growth. I'll read through that, but Apple, nice couple of days here, trying to head higher once again, guys. Good morning.
I think Apple could be, well, we'll talk about this one in context of what might be happening with the market. If the AI top is top-ish, let's just say, then Apple seems like a stock that could benefit in the other direction with some relative strength. The other thing to keep in mind here, man, like that Micron report was good. It's pretty solid. And for it to be down today, sometimes that can signal a few things in here. I don't know how much we want to read into Powell's comments, but there's no arguing the fact that when he called the market top-ish or whatever the exact terminology he was using, it certainly doesn't help things, because the second he was sort of done his comments, we basically head to the downside. You had a good report there from Micron. A big story here with this LAC because it's 11% short. It's worth keeping in mind. This isn't just like, they're investing the U.S. wants to invest 10% in it. These guys are trying to renegotiate over a $2 billion federal loan. And so this is more along the lines of, hey, if you want us to renegotiate it, we should get something out of it, as opposed to, we're just propping these guys up. So it looks like this one with 11% short float. Look for the strength here. Have BBAI on the mind as well. And don't forget, there was that afternoon story in Palantir that caused it to buck the trend. Palantir, one of the few strong AI stocks yesterday, and mostly because of that late deal with Boeing that got announced yesterday.
Yeah, look at the TQQ trade. I mean, yesterday, look, we had this trade. Forget about Powell. It was nice story. We were talking about the market being way overpriced and frothy well before Powell even took the podium yesterday. This was 103.2. You know, where we wound up going down yesterday on the TQQs was 102. So this was a huge move down yesterday, which we were able to, thankfully, have it. And I think we got to do the same thing again today. I mean, I think we're going to be looking short here one more time. Although the Nasdaq starting the day upside a little bit here, we're going to be looking to fade all of these plays. I have my number one play of the day will be Palantir as well. So we're going to look over there to see if we can find an area where we want to buy some of this. Bitcoin 13. I always like to look at Bitcoin to see if anything's going on with that, but it doesn't seem to be too much over there. And then, you know, Alibaba. Told you guys, like, I was waiting. That day that I was at 156 and I put a 152 bid, I should have just punched and got long. Because there's Alibaba up. I mean, I still have, you know, like 1% of my portfolio, or not even that, is in Alibaba. But, you know, it's a nice move, which is pretty good for single stock exposure, I guess. But it's a nice move there, breaking higher Alibaba. So, yeah, man, I mean, the FXI continues to rock and roll. I also wanted to get Tencent down at some of those levels. TCEHY. We're going to be joined by Jeff Mendel tomorrow. He's coming here live tomorrow, so we'll talk to Jeff in person. Maybe Tencent then is what I need to be looking at. Because when I put in that Alibaba, I'm going to go check out what my order is at right now for Tencent, because $80.50 or so is probably around where we did that. What's up, Randy? How's it going?
Number 2.
Going good.
What did you think of the French toast? It might have been real. Almost. It wasn't. We got French toast with our lunches, or breakfast this morning. No protein, though.
Look, man, it's better than those quiches. I hate those quiche. The quiches.
Did you have the French toast?
Yeah, I had a piece.
It's kind of dry. Like, I love French toast.
They're just
general.
French toast sticks.
They're just little sticks.
They're literally exactly what you think they're going to be.
Yeah. Not that great.
Shreve was mad because he doesn't eat carbs. He's mad because
there's an ounce of protein.
He's mad because there's not an ounce of protein in those things. I like bananas.
Well, it can't be zero protein, because obviously French toast, of course, you need eggs to make it. But yeah, I don't know. But I absolutely. I'm a French toast. I'm a French toast over pancakes guy. That being said, like, we make good French toast at home. Like, it's how good is it going to be, and then they got to deliver it here. French toast over pancakes for me, though, 10 times out of 10.
Yeah, French toast is. I really enjoy French toast.
How's the game?
Good, really good. Yeah, we had great seats. Nice. It was tons of fun. They wound up losing in overtime, but it didn't really matter.
Preseason. Like,
yeah. All right, let's get a poll up. French toast, yay or nay, Andre? ASAP.
The waffles are good too, Drago. No one's hating on waffles. That's for sure.
No one's hating on waffles. I definitely.
But I hope not, anyways.
Definitely like waffles. Google, maybe. I just saw Cantor Fitzgerald reiterates neutral rating on Google.
Neutral.
All right. All right, we're going to get that poll up. Let's go back over to the carbless desk.
But do you do the, like, in a cast iron pan?
Yeah.
Put like 6 eggs.
You got to do it aggressively,
and then,
Brendo.
Like, have the egg cap.
If it's not stinking up, Brendo, and they're splashing all over
Saturday
the oven,
morning,
then no.
You got nowhere to be, or you're like, cool. Not during the week.
Anyway, I could enjoy a meal in every now and again.
Just saw Alibaba spiked up here a little bit again, trying to get back to 178. Huge gap here this morning on, a couple of things. One of them, the Nvidia note. A couple of comments from the CEO as well. That's a big number, 53 billion in AI spending from Baba.
Yeah, and it's beyond the plan that they disclosed in February, Brendo. This is the second plan we get from them this year. So it's going to be 380 billion yuan, as Brendo mentioned, about 53 billion US dollars. It's over a 3-year period. In addition to what they disclosed in February, they're aiming to surpass what they're calling, the CEO is calling, human brain level intelligence with its models. Just to give you an idea, this is the highest Alibaba has been price-wise since 2021. It's already up about 107% year to date. And they're building up a storm, Brendo. It's not just in China. They're building out new data centers in Brazil, France, the Netherlands, expanding the ones they already have in Mexico, Japan, South Korea, Malaysia, Dubai. And they're looking at doing it by the end of next year. So aggressive move here from Baba.
We'll keep an eye on ADRs in general. Baba by far the highest right now. Randy just left, but Ford not really doing anything here this morning. There's 115,000 trucks being recalled from Ford, shocking no one. Steering column defects for, I think it's the F-Series. There's a bunch of different F-Series trucks that were included in that. But a nice day yesterday here for Ford. Guys, thoughts on Baba here?
There's Randy.
There's Randy. Yeah, there is Randy. Ford almost broke that 12 yesterday, by the way.
Oh la la.
That on the daily. Okay, we're going to talk about Alibaba, but that's that $12 level on Ford. It got to 93 yesterday before, I mean, like everything kind of pulled back, but that level, we'll see. There's already like 100,000 on ARCA sitting there. I guess there's probably been sizers the entire time, but that's a breakout when it happens. I think you want to take it just from a momentum standpoint, like alone. If it's a significant level, the market's telling you that it's a significant level. So it'll get recalled. It'll get recalled on the breakout, apparently.
The level will get recalled,
says Randy. But Alibaba, it's a bit of a blue sky setup. Like, these aren't all-time highs for Alibaba, but they are certainly big-time local highs. For sure. And you could zoom out and go way back on like a monthly chart. I don't think that's going to give you too much juice. But the last time this had like a really big gap and go, and again, like if you look at this gap up, the one on the 10th, it had some good continuation, but it's the way that it traded. Where is it? I don't know, I have to zoom it out so you can see it. But it's the way that it traded off of the open. It was initial fail at the open, then a consolidation, and a later break in the day. And then the last gap up, which wasn't nearly this big on the 17th, was more of a flat trade. So the first things first, you have to actually break the high of the day. So unless this breaks out the pre-market highs, it needs to be showing me that it can trade above that with a gap this big, or I don't necessarily want to chase. It's been such a fantastic move, as Sean was mentioning, in Alibaba so far that, okay, fine, AI spend continuing. That didn't seem to necessarily always bump the markets in like Nvidia's case, let's just say. So I don't want to just go out there and think, oh, we're going to go dip buy hunting. I don't have any good levels. If it's breaking out, if it actually can take out that pre-market high, then I can start looking at VWAP or that secondary break like back on the 10th, where it sort of went semi-break and then made a double top and broke out after 10 o'clock. That's something I'm willing to be with Alibaba, but not early on. I'll let that one play out and shake out in the early trade. And if it can show me trading above this high as 178.60, then it can be all systems go. But I'm not trying to catch any dips.
All right, look, I mean, the only mistake is not getting long Alibaba earlier. I think I'm going to be waiting for, dips back into the 50-period moving average, back into VWAP, things like that. I mean, I definitely want to be long this name today. It's just a matter of where. And, the market's just getting going now. So it's only 8:42. So I'm going to give it a couple minutes, wait to see if this 177 winds up holding off the open, because, at this point right now, you have imbalances that are going to come through. Ooh, Big Bear AI, good. All right, so anyways, you got Alibaba, and, we love the story here, but it's dangerous because it's Chinese name. But I mean, what they have that AI conference here. It's in our notes here. They gapped up after the first day of a 3-day Aspera conference, where CEO Eddie Wu plans to increase its AI spending. They spend $53 billion over a 3-year period to boost its infrastructure. So I don't know. I mean, they're announcing a lot of spend, so it's kind of strange that it's up 9%. But at the end of the day, the market tells it what it wants to do. I mean, look, you get bases break. That's where the long is right there, 135, right? So that's the long there. And then you got base again, trying to figure it out over the last 5 days, and then bam. But I mean, it could have gone the other way, which would have been perfect, because then I would have been long. I'm still going to wait for this long down here at 150 just to add to the position that I have. But yeah, right now Alibaba smoking to the upside. And the name that I thought has just as much runway is Tencent. So this one hasn't broken out to the same extent here as Alibaba, but I mean, still a huge move. I mean, even from the first of the year, like, wow. This is January. So in January, this was $53 or so up to 83. I mean, there's a lot of stock that's out in the market right now that have increased more than this. You see a stock like Micron yesterday on earnings, which were pretty good, but it doesn't matter. The earnings don't matter, right? You still get it a flat move. So I think right now the expected move here was 9%. You're getting 0% on this. So the juice is not in these stocks right now. Hence why your boy's going to be going short again today. The biggest trade on the desk yesterday was that short, and I think we can try to push that again. So we'll do that, man. I just don't see the juice here, but I do see it in Alibaba. So that's what we're going to do. Right now, Blue Jays 1 game now ahead of the New York Yankees.
The collapse is real. The Tigers are now tied with Cleveland. So both of the best teams have almost given up the entire ghost. We got hosed on a call last night. That was, what I'll never understand.
And got 3 hits though.
What I'll never understand though is how you can go to replay, see something pretty clear. Like everyone knows the ball's fair if it goes over the bag.
Right.
In the replay, it just clearly is over the bag fair on a double. Okay. And it's like at the moment in the game, it would have brought it. It was a 2-run double. You have a runner at second base. Like it's one of those. It's like a game changer.
What inning was that in? Near the end.
It was 7th.
Oh, okay.
But either way, it's not like it would have won them the game, but it puts them back into contention.
I thought that was the whole point of replay.
I just don't. That's what I don't understand. Yeah. This is not like in football. We don't know what a catch is. Like if it goes over
are you bored today, Randy?
Apparently.
Nothing to supervise, or what is going on?
Waiting for contractors.
Waiting for contractors. That seems to be a common thing around here.
Yeah.
As long as the power stays back.
I mean, this project's only taken 8 months or whatever.
Oh, man.
Milk. All right. It's time for
upgrade the contract.
Smooth voice. See what I'm trying to do with my voice? This is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to bring it back for the people. You know, like how Joe talks. That's my new thing now. You know, just more chill out. Let's go find it from the originator himself. It's Mr. Joe Miami.
Morning, everyone. I don't think my voice is that chill, but we'll take it. It's early in the morning. We don't want to be too rambunctious, but that's all right, guys. Let's take a look at some of the upgrades and downgrades at the top of the list. Yes, we have Amazon getting that price target raised to $280 by Wells Fargo, with yesterday knowing that there's some issues with canceling the Amazon Prime subscription. Now, with GM, UBS raising that price target to $81, and we have ServiceNow by Morgan Stanley getting that price target raised to $1,250. Now, Micron reporting yesterday after the bell, TD Cowen giving it the nod, $180. Now, on the downgrade side, we have Morgan Stanley lowering the price target on Adobe to $450, and Bloom Energy Jeffries saying $31. That's the target that we're giving this. Now, CrowdStrike, I was a little bit surprised by this one. DZ Bank lowering that price target to $444. And then we have Keurig Dr. Pepper getting the nod, not the nod, I should say, $26 price target lowered by Barclays. Now, let's take a look at some of the options activity from yesterday's session. And yes, we have Amazon on here as well, too. And this is going to go with all 3 names this week's expiration cycle. So we only have a couple days left on these contracts, and it's not substantial, but excuse me, I wanted us to take a look at Amazon, considering that we've seen some selling in its activity yesterday. So 79,500 contracts on the call side, with open interest sitting around $21,000. So use 240 as a potential call wall. That can be your cap potentially on this week, and you might see a little bit more selling. Writing those wouldn't be a horrible idea. Make sure you double check the delta as well on those. I believe those were at the money, so nothing substantial. You're looking at that 0.6 delta. Now, as for INTC, volume 68,500 contracts on that $30 strike price, once again expiring this week. The open interest was relatively high comparing to some of the other strike prices as well. 40,100 contracts at that specific level. Now, as for IBIT, Bitcoin relatively weak, but now we have the ability to trade options via IBIT. 10,200 volume yesterday at that 66 strike price, but the open interest is something that I'm specifically looking for. 20,100 contracts, that's acting as a potential ceiling in IBIT for this week, guys.
Do we like that ceiling on IBIT? It might have been there already, but this is the season for dip buying now. And I saw, like, you see CrowdStrike on there. That's fine. It didn't quite. We talked about this one yesterday, sort of at that $500 failure last week, and possibly pulling back before we eventually make a run to the high. Because at some point, CrowdStrike breaks out that top. I don't care too much about timing it, but the 50 period and the 200 period do loom for us on a nice little dip buy. So this is a stock. Ridiculous move up last week on the Thursday, I believe it was. Yeah, Thursday's move was nuts. like 450 to 500. I think that's the next stop to look for, that 450 level there for CrowdStrike. And if we see that, I think you look for a bit of a bounce play. Don't know if the downgrade's going to give it enough juice to get there today. But this is more watch out for it in the coming days. Be prepared for the 50 period. The 200 period, I think, is gold on this thing if you can get it. But I'm not sure. When you're buying the dip and you're doing it for long term instead of a swing, to me, if you get too picky about it, then you might miss out. So this is one that I got eyeballs on as it pulls back into those major moving averages that I like.
Yeah, I don't... Someone just saw me was getting in and out of, I was just punching some shares in there with DIY. Because I was looking at the pink sheets, and like Fannie Mae at the end of yesterday's session, and I wasn't looking at it and should have been, went from 12 all the way to 13 in like an hour with much increased volume there. And today you're up to $14 again here on FNMA. We're going to be joined by Jeff Mendo tomorrow. But look at, and there's traders around here that have been, milking this one from $3 or $4, and it's been an absolutely epic run. I mean, this name here, December 30th, $2.50, $14. Forget about, this is up 6 times right now, right? Like, how many? There's not too many stocks up 6x this year. Anyways, the reason why I was looking at it was, I didn't realize it. I was looking at it because of the volume spike. But I didn't realize we had this kind of a move down and almost got back into a buy zone. I think $12 is a buy for FNMA. So if you want to look at Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, another thing, like you see about LAC and the government taking stake in all of these companies, I wonder if, part of these bumps that have been happening here, if the government's looking to make some money, which clearly with Donald Trump there, it seems to be on his mind. I mean, he had that AI generated thing where he said he bought Intel long at 20 and it was at 30, and he was sitting in front of a trade desk there. Bringing Fannie Mae back and FMCC. So if you go FMCC, Freddie Mac, right now, this is on no news. I mean, I just Googled it. I just looked it up on Benzinga. I don't know if there's news yesterday afternoon or not, but some of these stocks have really started to go. So this is an interesting area here as we start to talk, obviously, more and more about, what's going to happen with the housing market. Is there a turnaround coming in 2026 for the housing market? Is it going to react to interest rates? OpenDoor and all that stuff, didn't care about interest rates. These things, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, much more of a housing play than anything else. I mean, you got Lennar, DH Horton, things like that, but I really like Fannie Mae, and it's up 5% here today. So, yo, what's up, Justin? I see you in the chat, my guy. Hope everything is doing well. You're doing well. But yeah, so I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention. I think Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac on the move already early. It's only 32,000 shares, but typically I think that's probably good for the pre-market for some of these names over there on the OTC market. So shout out to our good friend Jeff. We'll talk to him tomorrow. But yeah, I like Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac today, guys.
All right, Oracle trying to bounce here, trying to hold on to 307.50. It's below 310, which was this area from after the close. Going back a couple days ago, the TikTok announcement was a sell the news event. If you missed it this morning, again, $15 billion coming through from a corporate bond sale, according to Bloomberg. So downside here today for Oracle. What a run this thing's been on, though.
It's been good, Brenda. I was looking at the chart this morning for the watch list. It's holding generally the breakout there, but there's obviously Stargate, which Oracle is very much involved in. We saw Sam Altman take to Texas yesterday, I believe in Abilene, Texas, where the huge build-out is taking place. Oracle, OpenAI, SoftBank, all involved in that Stargate build-out. Oracle and OpenAI said the Abilene site alone could deliver, Brendo, about 5.5 gigawatts of capacity. They're claiming that's going to employ about 25,000 people. It's supposed to be completed in 2026. I was looking at some of the build-outs yesterday. Looks like they're well on their way. Keep an eye on it.
Yeah. I mean, a little bit weaker right now, but we'll see how Oracle goes today. I wanted to mention this real quick as well. One of those rare days yesterday is a daily chart of the 30-year, so long end of the curve. One of those rare days yesterday where stocks got sold and yields followed as well. So we're back higher again today. So 4.75 coming into play once again, but a bounce kind of limiting potential gains anyways, guys, for stocks today. But it's rare to see that correlation, the downside correlation with stocks and bonds as we did yesterday.
Yeah, well, the other thing too is like the equal weight was all right yesterday in the S&P. Like it was very much led by the big cap that was weak, because that equal weight S&P was doing actually just fine. Coming back into Oracle, it's always I get a bit of a chuckle because I was in the car on the way home. It's short drive away from the station, and literally heard them talking about how great Oracle and how strong it's been since the earnings move. And I couldn't help but think we've had like 2, maybe 3 good days, and the vast majority, like the others, weak yesterday. It's like 2 out of every 3 days has been mostly sell since earnings. On Oracle. That being said, it's really holding out that 290 well. It's holding the earnings gap really well, 290 to 300. And I think that's the big sign that you can at least take away from this. And with a down day yesterday and being down 1.5% today, that's at least a remote possibility that we could see this level, that level come back in. And whether it's the 300 or the 290, that's generally been the place that you could buy this stock. So the good news hasn't really mattered in this case. So I don't necessarily care about a good news headline here for Oracle, but we do care about that earnings gap fill and that 290 level for sure. 300 is a good level, but 290 is the real support buy on this stock. And if it loses that, I mean that gap was stupidity. So hopefully you don't lose that 290. Let's just say.
Yeah, I mean again, it's not even really great earnings from Oracle. Just that huge story about that massive buyer. Here's. Last night, this was us at the Leaf game. So there's Gia, there's myself, and was just an absolutely great time had by all. Thank you for 85 likes. I like that one rated there. Thank you for everybody, for doing that. But I mean, I keep saying it, but it's the reason for me being here, really. It was pretty good. Yeah, it was 3-2. They lost overtime, but it was okay. It was okay. I mean, the thing in preseason doesn't have the same intensity. I may go to the home opener. I think it's against the Canadians.
That'll have intensity.
That should be aight. When the Blue Jays last is this weekend, and then
we finish.
But what if we don't? There must be odds of us not coming in the top 2, like because then.
Oh, it's not impossible, I don't think, but it's unlikely.
Okay, because I was going to say when's the first series, but if we get that first bye, then we have a week probably of doing nothing. Then we can use that as an excuse. If we lose, we can say we were resting for too long.
They're going to get Bo back. They got a lot of issues.
I hope Bo can come back.
Health is you always just want your team to make it.
I think that's true of every sport, right? Yeah, exactly.
And we're not.
You go all season with a team, and then all of a sudden the playoffs come, and it's like
starting shortstop out, number 3 starters out. Like, what are you going to do? And we got old man Scherzer on the hill against literally a stud.
Yeah, Ross Atkins.
Yeah, what are you going to do, man? We should have got one more reliever at least. But
$15 million for Scherzer.
I actually preferred Verlander to Scherzer, which at the time in my pool everyone was like, "You're an idiot."
Verlander's still playing.
Verlander's been ridiculous the second half. That dude doesn't age, man.
Phillies.
Straight doesn't age.
Okay.
Philly, I liked Philly. I thumped them.
Yeah.
They were a good team when they beat us, but look, it's 9. It's almost 9. I know we're gonna get to the futures in a quick little second, but what's interesting, and I was just looking over LAC. I don't know if this holds. Well, we still have a half an hour till the open. But this lithium, and we're going to talk about it, has really started just flat out barcoding here. And when a stock that's gapped up barcodes, sometimes there's a unique opportunity at the open. Like if it's this tight a range, maybe it isn't, maybe it doesn't happen this way. But if it's this tight of a range to just take that breakout of the local high, regardless, like in my note, I had 460 as a dip level on this stock, but who cares? Like if it holds this barcode of 10 cents worth of range, then you could take the breakout at the open with a stop underneath that, and you're risking 10 cents to get into a runner. So I had this on the radar just because of this barcode for a bit of a different play than just the dip buy into 460. But I do believe it's 9. Let's talk about what's going on with the future and maybe get into this rundown.
All right, guys, let's take a look at the ES December contract. Yeah, we're on that new contract now, 67.15. That's where we closed out yesterday. We defended that 6,700 point area, which was in jeopardy at least 1 point. We did touch it very momentarily. The overnight high, guys, 67.28. We're currently showing 26, so we're basically still at that top end of the range. We'll use 6,700 as our support level, and then we'll look to 67.50. That's where we rejected yesterday as our resistance.
If you haven't done so yet, make sure you take a second, jump down to the description of this video. Sign up for the watch list, absolutely free every single day. Super easy. It comes right to your inbox, has everything that's moving around in the pre-market on it and why. Alibaba, we just touched on it, but let's revisit here because there are a number of positive notes coming through from analysts on this as well. If you missed it, deal with Nvidia on the AI front, whole bunch of spending coming through. 180 if you zoom out. We're just below that, but 180 if you zoom out a bit, a huge level here.
Yeah, as it's a huge level, Brendo, and it's the highest level they've been at since 2021, when I believe they were at $200-300, a little bit more. Year-to-date gains have also been substantial, about 107% at the time of writing this article. CEO Eddie Wu announced they will increase their AI investment beyond the 300 billion yuan that they announced in February. That's about $53 billion. They're aiming to surpass what he calls human brain level intelligence with their models. They've officially released their new version of Qwen called Qwen 3 Max, and it's alongside multiple upgrades to its other AI products as well. Wu continued to emphasize Alibaba's cloud strength now, Brendo, calling it a full stack AI service provider. They're integrating data centers with cloud compute. And just to keep reminding you about this, they're really building out data centers quite aggressively. Brazil, France, Netherlands, expanding the ones in Mexico, Japan, South Korea, Malaysia, and Dubai, Brendo.
I just realized this, but this thing's working on 8 weeks in a row. Straight to the upside here, guys, for Alibaba.
It's been an absolute tear, Alibaba, no question. Thank you, Sharif's Gardner, in the chat for the kind words there. Sharif's Gardner. Sharif's Gardner. Right there. Yeah. Thank you very much. It used to be his left bicep. It was Sharif's mom was in the chat. I'm assuming it's all the same person. Just be real. Look, Alibaba's been an absolute run. There's no question about it. And the continuation could be real. And I think, yeah, your daily chart, I'm going to put up a monthly chart, and hopefully it doesn't take all year to load. Like, if you think, whoa, what is that wick all about? Sheesh. If you think that this doesn't really have much to do, this is just breaking out now on the monthly. It's literally just breaking out now past, like, it's going to close obviously above this prior 150 monthly top. Like, that's pretty much a given. So, like, you might have some consolidation or pullback, but this stock, as long as it holds on to $150 in the next month candle, I think there's more upside here. So, like, this is not the all-time highs. Like, you know, I'm not really too worried or concerned about that 2021 level, but certainly I think a nice consolidated phase over the next month to get you into like the low to mid twos makes a lot of sense. Like, it's got plenty of room to go on that monthly chart. I think sometimes you have to keep that perspective in mind for stock like this. As far as the gap up goes, I kind of was just saying, if it doesn't break out the pre-market high, like, show me that you're buying out the pre-market high. The last few gaps, when it's been on this run, you know, haven't been the cleanest in the world, especially if it's just hanging under VWAP here in the pre-market. So I'm willing to participate if it starts closing above the highs, and then maybe look for some VWAP dips at that point. But underneath VWAP, it's for now a bit of a pass.
All right, so, you know, this is part of why I'm reaching out. If you guys want to send anything, please do it. We got something amazing yesterday. Thank you to 8,600 of you watching. So this was Trev. So shout out to Trevor. He sent a message to me yesterday and said he's about to be a dad. And this is him in the operating room, waiting, his poor wife, waiting there, watching the show. And so that's pretty cool, man. And then, I mean, I got it, Joe.
Awesome.
Right there. But if this is not what life is about, then I'll pass. So cheers, Trev, man. Absolutely gorgeous. And a nice Italian name with Vincent. It should have been Vincenzo. But there it is. So there he goes. Thank you, Trev, for sharing, man. It means a whole hell of a lot to do that. And that's a special moment. So congratulations to you, Trevor, and to everybody else that's out there. So there it goes, man. A big congratulations to you and your family. So shout out and thank you so much for sharing all of that. I have Alibaba's on the sticky note. I'm just figuring it out. So I love Alibaba today. Just got to wait for it to develop some sort of a support level. So I'm going long on Alibaba. Keep watching, and you'll find out where and when. Look at the bottom; it'll say Sean long Alibaba at some point today. So I'm getting ready for that, and very excited right there. Oh, Marvell's starting to move here. Marvell announces additional $5 billion stock repurchase authorization. Thank you. This is a big play for your boy. Marvell going a little bit higher here. So we definitely appreciate all the Marvell love from the market. All right, let's go back over the desk and talk about some company called the LA Clippers.
If you zoom out here, here's a weekly chart for LAC, give you some perspective. This was the last time we were up here, October of 2024. It's been a long time, bouncing along $3 for this thing. Obviously much higher prices. If you go back further, just a recap, remember this company spun out their South American holdings into a different company, LAC. So that's why the move was to the downside initially. Yep. But I mean, this is huge. Almost a double here early on this morning.
Yeah, Brendo, this is continued push by the Americas to become self-reliant with these critical minerals. We saw it with MP, as you mentioned. We're seeing it here with LAC. So the company is in active talks with the Department of Energy as well as General Motors about accessing the first draw of their $2.25 billion federal loan. The discussions involve conditions precedent to accessing the loan, with the Department of Energy actually requesting additional stipulations before the funds are released. But it's all focusing on this Thacker Pass lithium project. So the loan proceeds will support the Thacker Pass project in Humboldt County, Nevada, one of the world's largest known lithium resources. The project is managed by a joint venture. It's Lithium Americas, as well as GM. GM's got a 38% stake in the mine. Phase 1 targets about 40,000 tons per year, Brendo, of battery-grade lithium carbonate. The Thacker Pass construction is expected to generate about 2,000 jobs, give or take, and LAC's position in Thacker Pass as a cornerstone of the U.S. domestic EV supply chain. So as I kind of started this whole thing out, looking to become domestically reliant.
This is trading like a bit of a small cap this morning, but definitely not one. Massive float on this stock. So is there opportunities here, guys, just based on this headline, or what do you want to see?
Well, you like to, at this point, every time you've seen government involvement, in this particular case, it's not necessarily the same as some of the other stakes that you've seen the administration make. Like, this is clearly, hey, look, you want some help on that loan, then we want something out of it. It's just a little bit different here. And as you said, it's ridiculously liquid. This is not necessarily like a halt candidate where it's going to be so illiquid and so crazy that it goes from 60% up to 500% and halts 10 times in the way or some other nonsense like that. But it can hopefully give us some structure, because the prior high, if you go back to October last year, almost a full calendar year, you did have 460 was like the, on an open basis anyways, like that was the highest open when it rejected. So that's the level I'm looking for in terms of holding structure for the long. I do like, and now this consolidation I was talking about earlier is starting to fade off a little bit. But if it can hold on to 5, then this little mini breakout here still holds at 525, just because you can see the sellers come in. So if it's consolidating here for the next 20 minutes and able to maybe take a quick little breakout, risk it about 10, 15 pennies if it goes right away. Otherwise, I'm waiting for the 460 on LAC. Just looking for some more structure out of this as opposed to something crazy parabolic. Like, I'm not, like the stock we're talking about next, I don't think it's going to necessarily have an OpenDoor kind of day. Like, OpenDoor was doing, a couple times did like 1 billion shares OpenDoor. I just don't see, this is done 20 million now. It'll be good, but it's not going to approach those types of levels.
Look, I thought it was the LA Clippers, so I didn't look at it. The only thing that I remember is MP Metals and Materials. You know, the government took a stake up in this, and that was the announcement. This is where it is now. So it's already up $30 more from where that announcement was made. I think, unless it was in July, but I think it was. So there it goes. Huge upside still for MP and going higher, right? Especially on a day like today where you get more announcements into, the mining and the metal space. So yeah, I think MP Metals is a great stock at these levels as well. So I'm just playing around it. This stock's been beat up so badly, LAC, that it's nice to finally see it making a move here. I mean, the daily chart pretty much, tells you what was going on with it. Even if we go into a monthly here on eSignal, I mean, this was $40, not too long ago. So look at that. Wow. Man, this government knows how to pick levels.
Pick the bottom.
Yeah. Congratulations. Great stock there today, LAC. I think it's going to be a long, but I mean, right now it's bleeding a little bit to the downside. So I would just say, I mean, it's kind of similar to Alibaba, except for this I don't think has the juice that Alibaba could possibly have today. Like, it's already juiced is what I'm getting at. So a pullback into the 200 is always something that I'm looking for. But I'd like to give it a little bit more data than what we've had right now, because this 200 is too sloped. So we needed to, just have 200 minutes worth of data here since this announcement. So maybe I'll change my chart for this one. But right now it's 480 is what we're looking at. And I think I'm going to wait for this. But a pullback, definitely, if it's available, we're going to go on that one. Tesla's we have Tesla coming on soon? No, Tesla's at 430 right now. I don't have this one. The sticky note is now out, but Tesla's an interesting level of 430. So maybe 431 to 432 there could be a nice break level or a level to go short. Market trying to figure itself out. All right, let's go back over the desk. Actually, what's up, Adam James? No, I don't. I actually slept pretty good there. This is my new MO. This chill, this voice, this chill, everything like that. So let's go back over the desk.
We'll see if we continue the bounce here for OpenDoor this morning. 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row downside. We filled that little gap that was on the daily chart left over. So, I mean, trying to bounce, trying to hold on to $7. We'll see. I mean, there's nothing significant on this today, but it looks pretty good.
It's just retail sentiment, and then one of their biggest holders of the stock is selling again, Brendo. So retail trader sentiment on open turned a little bearish yesterday on stock twits after a sharp change from the prior day's neutral tone. The sentiment dropped following a 15.5% decline on the shares, the worst day that it's had basically since early August 6th. Message volume did rise slightly, but indicating elevated trader attention, but the tone still lean negative. Separately, Access Industries sold about 11.4 million shares worth about $95 million, cutting its holding to around 31.3 million shares. This comes after another major sale on the 12th of September where Access sold about 10.9 million shares worth about $100 million, which pushed the shares down 14%. Access still remains one of the largest shareholders, the third after the current CEO, Kaz Najatian, as well as Vanguard. But Kaz, the new CEO, they're all restricted stock units, Brendo. He can't sell them until the price reaches a certain level.
We'll keep an eye on OpenDoor real quick. Here's a couple other things. Marvell just popping up here on that note. The company announced an additional $5 billion stock repurchase. $1 billion accelerated share repurchase program as well. There's also a note on PayPal I'm just seeing here. Also PYPL. Is it actually moving on that? Not tremendously. Blue Owl Capital said today Blue Owl management funds have agreed to purchase $7 billion worth of PayPal shares. So it might have been the pop earlier this morning, guys, in the pre-market.
Read them.
Yeah, I think the PayPal deal is like they're going to get them to pick off their buy now pay later debt. So look, OpenDoor actually didn't have this one written down, but I'm glad we're going over it because look, it flat bottom broke. It kind of really flat bottom broke technically on Monday, and then yesterday. Look at the rejection. It clean at 8 later, and then clean underneath this prior low here at 8:30. So if this gets juice into the $8 level, I think I'd look for a short reversion on this. We got free locates on OpenDoor, so over here we can short it, and as it looks like it's on at least a temporary back end of the trade, with 6 being the next local support. Yeah, I mean, there's this prior high at 7, but I mean, if it's fading up at $8 and you're not worried too much about 7, so yeah, I might add this one to the list. It just needs to get up. It was kind of there, I guess, this morning, but if this tries to go for a jaunt, I'd look to try to catch the back end of that trade. From 8 to that high would be, call it like 820 or so. So 8 to 820, look for a reversion on OpenDoor.
I mean, down 15% yesterday. I mean, not good, right? Insider selling. We see that Eric Jackson switched his mind over to BETR already, and that seems to be moving around there. Yeah, so that's the problem. Better home. So I mean, it's a similar play. This as maybe OpenDoor. I think he's right. There is going to be some sort of a turnaround here in the housing market, and this is right into the level now. It hit the level that, honestly, it's like a broken record. Like I've said this before, like this was the level where it was most likely going to fall into, right? I mean, if we fell, this is where. I mean, there's the gap, there's the fall, there's the bid now coming. I think you got to go long, man. I think you got to go long, like 680, 650, 7. Like this is the area right here. And if it fails and breaks you, then it breaks you. Like I don't know. This is the problem when you're trading meme stocks. It's boom or bust, basically. I mean, these are very dramatic moves. Like each one of these candles is like almost 10%, moving dollars at a time. Every day, this stock is moving quite dramatically. And if it doesn't, you wonder what's up with that, right? So I would say in and around $7. That's a great long. That was yesterday's opportunity right there. It only came at the close and it was bought up. You see that little wick there? Like this is at 530. At 330, you get a lot of volume coming in there on OpenDoor on that move down to 7. So someone whacked it through 7. Then it was here. Maybe I can, if we zoom in a little bit more. See, there it is. Someone whacks it through 7 and someone whacks it right back up, and then it holds 7 right there at the close in the last 5 minutes before making a pretty epic run, actually, from 7 up to 730 in 20 minutes. Not epic as in the way that we've never seen it before, but that's a beautiful hold in the after hours. And then today we start to climb again. So yeah, I mean, that $7 level, I mean, how wrong are you going to be on that if you use something like 690, 680 as your low? So yeah, I mean, I should have probably put up OpenDoor there. Why are people saying my sticky note did not go through? I don't know. So I put the Marvell one there, and then this is 9 minutes ago, September 24th. Yeah, so it should be here. I'll put this one more time in the chat. It's gonna hopefully be up on Instagram soon. You can follow me at TraderTV Sean there, but I'll hit copy and then we'll throw this in the chat so you guys can go. There you go. Some people are seeing it, so there it is in the chat. Hopefully you guys can go find it. But yeah, OpenDoor should be on there at $7 dip buy opportunity. All right, Nvidia.
Strong.
AB on said notes today. Let's go find out what our news hosts are saying about it.
All right, yeah, back to the upside here after the down day yesterday. You go back 2 days ago, a little bit of profit taking expected, I guess, after the monster move. There's not a lot to really sink your teeth into here on the Y side of things today, but definitely trying to bounce.
Well, you can make some inferences. Micron, with their huge move up yesterday, saying that the AI demand's through the roof. They're obviously supplying their high bandwidth memory to Nvidia as well in their large servers, their AI servers. Separately, you could make the argument that the Oracle deal yesterday with the build out in Abilene, as well as many different places with Stargate and the $400 billion investment, obviously is going to benefit Nvidia greatly. Most of these data centers are going to be filled with Nvidia's GPUs. Very few of them are going to actually have AMD's latest GPU, Brendo. So, inferring the move up from these headlines, yeah?
Yeah, we'll see if some volume, some participation starts to come in here. 180 was a bit of a problem spot going into the midday yesterday before the overall market sold off. So we'll see if we can't get back above 180 today, guys. Nvidia trade?
Yeah, I think Nvidia's a big trade. Go ahead. You go ahead.
Yeah, it keeps losing that 184, 185 level on Nvidia, like over and over again. the 15-minute doesn't do it justice. On the daily chart, you can see it just can't seem to break out. At some point, we'll be taking a 185 break on the stock. It's just, it's not happening yet. Micron had a good quarter, and it goes down anyways, even with the strong guidance for them. So, look, I don't know if we get all the way in to be able to fade up here 184. Like, obviously, that is a bit of a temporary top, but for a continuation trade, I'm looking at the 181 resistance level for a pop and curl here on Nvidia. Whenever that day happens, 185 is going to get taken at some point. It's just not yet. The sellers are in control up there. And I want to respect that and sort of go with that continuation trend on NVDA.
Here's my trade on Nvidia. It's a 180 short. So yesterday it was very weak. We tried to support the name, did not work, and we're going to go short on Nvidia. So I think it's just, let's watch and see what happens with Micron and AMD though as well, because AMD is kind of going the other way. So this will be hopefully a big trade for me, that 180 short here on Nvidia. Again, it's kind of the high rate into there. While I'm looking at it, we have the 50-period moving average, the 200-period moving average is up in and around here, around 180.50. So you're going to have some consolidation in this area. So if we can get back up, let's just see. I don't have any orders sitting there yet. There's only 10 minutes to go right now, but 180.60, 180.70, something like that is where we're going to wind up being wrong if that's the case. So yeah, Nvidia should be an interesting name today. The fact that it's up more than the market is giving me a little bit of a pause on that kind of a play. But yeah, I said it yesterday, until we get above 180, I don't really want to go long this name. So too much pressure from that top side again up there. We just made back-to-back highs. Like, we just kept on seeing this one. It reminds us of there's Palo Alto keeps on banging its head against the highs. There's other names as well that keep wanting to do it. So I would say that, until Nvidia goes, it's a little bit different. I think Apple is at the high. I mean, that Apple, that was a great long, and I'm going to keep, I'm never selling Apple shares, but it's going to break the high. I think that's a little bit of a better look right now than Nvidia. So we're going to wait for that and go short on NVDA today.
Mentioned it early on, but let's recap here. Palantir had a wild day yesterday as well. Ends the day back essentially where it started after a huge sell-off down to 178. We're back above 183 here. Nice news story this morning involving Boeing here for PLTR.
Yeah, not a bad look here, Brendo. So Boeing Defense Systems, BDS, going to integrate with Palantir's AIP platform. Their AI platform, AIP, to standardize data analytics across production lines and support classified military projects. So that's from the production side, but they're also going to help optimize the workflows for sensitive missions involving military aircraft, helicopters, satellites, spacecraft, missiles, and weapons. Palantir's head of defense, Mike Gallagher, stated the partnership will accelerate production and innovation, and he stressed the urgency against the rising global threats. The deal strengthens Boeing's position, obviously, in defense as they're looking to get new contracts from Kazakhstan, Turkey, and China. Obviously not defense-related with China, but it is with Turkey. And Bank of America today, Brendo, reaffirming the buy rating on Palantir and boosting the price target to 215.
Just to recap quickly, nothing on the economic calendar this morning you're going to have to worry about. No Fed speakers even to be concerned about, or even a Fed Chair Powell type of event as we had yesterday, guys. So Palantir trying to get going here off 183 right now.
The relative strength was real. Like yesterday, you saw it really pick up in volume, and it was one of the few AI related or big cap tech related names that showed some strength. I just wanted to show the imbalance locator. You have LACs up here, and remember, LAC is it's a $5 stock. Okay, so it's 750,000 imbalance is not that big, but it is up there. QBTS with a 500,000 buy imbalance. That's not too bad. BABA, a couple 100,000 shares in there. Those are the ones that really stand out on the locator. Probably QBTS with the quantum names. I mean, what a rally Rigetti had yesterday. No questions asked. Why is this still on AMD? Palantir, this was the move through 180 bucks that essentially on that news, it managed to hold up at VWAP when the market was tanking. So it ended up holding some higher lows off of that. That's where the buying started. That's one of the big levels that needs to hold today. No questions asked. it's a super, super strong name in a general sense. It's very close to the all-time high. So I think in this particular case, I mean, I'm looking dip buy. I mean, the 178 was the support, but 180 was also kind of that level where the news hit. So it's kind of a different anchor there, that 180 level that it gives you here on Palantir. So we'll see if it can hold that one. If you don't want to be a buyer into that on the dip, just because of that relative strength. It's not crazy them getting a contract. I mean, they get contracts all the time. It was more the reaction to it that I liked, bucking that trend in the market. If they didn't want to buy it up, then you'd think it would have given a little bit more back, and it hasn't.
Yeah, look, Andre's there listening to the mics. If there's a problem, he will let us know. So we'll just go off that. My sticky note has Palantir as the #1 trade idea today, and it's a dip buy a little bit more aggressive than those levels, 182. So I'm already sitting here. If we can dip buy into 182, I'm going to take it. It was yesterday's sort of top that we weren't able to break through. Had a huge fall off of that, around 1 o'clock or so when the whole market went for a tumble. Remember, I'm still trying to be short this market, so I'm not absolutely in love with trying to catch something that's coming down through, but I'll try Palantir at 182. I mean, and eventually, if it breaks it, then we'll get out. I mean, Palantir has been a monster trade here, personally and here in front of everybody on the show. So I like the stock. I don't have a problem trying to go long on this one, but if we break this 182, then I think we can see you later. So that's going to be mine. I'm sitting there right now on Palantir, and it's your #1 trade idea there, and I think it goes just with Boeing, right? I mean, another contract, and this time, with a big corporation, we'll take it, right? I mean, Boeing has U.S. government ties as well. This is for their air defense and everything. So this is great news for PLTR and just shows, the value of their foundry. So, I think it's great. I think it's great news for Boeing to get this deal done, and it's even better news for PLTR. So for me, that's a dip buy opportunity right there. The other orders that I have in right now are layering up a little bit of this Nvidia short into 180. We'll see if that can print in the next 3.5 minutes as well. And then I have Alibaba as a trade idea for myself. Like yesterday, we traded 4 symbols, and they were all the ones on our list. I think we might have added one extra one in there as well. And we'll trade whatever we see. I mean, if there's movement in the names outside of the ones I have listed, I'm all over there, right? But I'll be very specific with the names that I trade and continue to do that. 175 right now. Alibaba came in and was almost up 10%. Now you're up 8%. So it has fallen quite nicely here from that 178.50 back into 176. Again, trying to wait for some kind of support there on Alibaba. I don't know where it's going to be. So I'm just going to have it up, and you guys will yell at me if there's anything going on there. And then I wrote down on here as well, between 103.50 and 104. That was, like, I want to start the short there on the Nasdaq where we were today. But I do understand that, yesterday's move, and we had this whole short, by the way. Yesterday we were short right here, 104.30. So that's where we were short yesterday, and this is what happened. So today, let's see if we can get that again somewhere in here. I said that 104. If we even get up here, I don't want to hold for that break. So we'll see what winds up happening in and around 104 for these TQ shorts. So that's kind of the play that I'm looking at, and I have orders all on those spots that we just said there. So those are my sort of 4 trade ideas that we're working with here to start with today. And yeah, Bernard, that's what I mean. Like Tesla, I think could be there. Marvell is fantastic. Thank you for bringing that up again. Turner Music on their 5 billion share authorization for another buyback there. So there goes Marvell. But see how it's basing here. 5 billion's a lot, but it's not huge. So we'll take that move higher and again see where this winds up going. But Marvell again, booyaka, now above. Quite above where we were on earnings, not quite, but 73, 74, 75. This is where we bought. Whoosh down, double down there. Didn't double down. I wish I would have. Now we're making the back upside here. An 80 break on Marvell is going to be something special. So we'll wait to see if that can hit today as well. And then everyone's talking Tesla still, but I mean it's under that 430. I think a 430 break is a decent spot, but I didn't see that. There wasn't a catalyst for Tesla. There wasn't a catalyst for BBI yesterday that was crazy either, and it seemed to want to go. No, there was a catalyst. I know, but it wasn't a big one. What? It wasn't huge. The deal with the U.S. Navy. It's their biggest deal of all time. Yeah, with dollar value.
So anyways, it's like with Rigetti, like you make a deal that is not substantive relative to the market cap of the stock.
Yeah.
But it's a squeeze play. But just quickly for BBAI, it got to that 850 level on the daily. And I'm not saying it rejected it, but I think temporary top. And that's the play I'm going to look for here on BBAI. As long as it doesn't break out the 850, it's kind of in this top end range, looking for a pop and fade, like a failed break of the high, at least off the open here for BBAI. I just double checked the imbalances. FCX jumped in here, 850 sell. QBTS grew slightly to 650 to the buy side. Alibaba's a $500,000 buy, sorry, 500,000 share buy.
Yeah.
$500,000 would be infinitesimally small.
Yes.
For sure. Keep an eye on LAC as well. It did have that barcode at that 525 levels. We dropped the bell, brought to you by VinFast. That's VFS, everybody. Check them out. Scan that QR code you see out in front. And let's get this party started.
All right, here we go. Yeah, so no positions obviously to start the day off right now. Palantir is absolutely ripping. It's already at 185. 184.50. Yeah, just touchdown right there. We'll see if this does pull back into some of these areas right now as Palantir continues to go. Look at the market starting to go back upside. So we may be getting into our Nvidia short soon, potentially. 179. What am I waiting at right here? 179.90. So we'll see if that can come into play right now. Market trying to go upside. Nothing really hitting for me yet. I mean, it's 30 seconds in.
Yeah.
Alibaba 176 and not open yet, so we don't have that first specialist print out of them because, of course, it's a New York stock. So the market will open up when the market opens up. Nvidia just doing nothing right now. The big mover most of the days is Tesla straight away off the open. And today again, went up to 431 and change. Now pulling back in. Don't tell me we missed that Nvidia short. I don't think so. Palantir's pulling back a little bit, 183 and change as we watch Nvidia. I'm sitting at 179.90 looking to get that short. We just missed it.
And BBI pull back, so I guess it's not going to do a pop and fade as well there. Lithium Americas is trying to break out that local high. It's about 525. It's not about 525. It's exactly 525 where that little barcode action starts. So I said I'm going to take that break with a stop at 515. And so whoa, how did I not get filled? On a $5 stock? That's weird. Well, my order went out on that break of 25s, and I did not get a fill there. All right, we'll see if we can leave it in to get. Usually on a stock like $5 stock with a spread like that, you're not going to miss a fill. But yeah, I guess I should have used an Edge A stop. I used Nasdaq scan, and it completely failed me there. Edge A is one of our preferred stops. I'm going to try and get it on the way back in here, pick up some 30s, and see if we can't get into Lithium Americas. 11% short flow, doing a ton of volume, obviously, off the open here.
All right, well, you see I'm in a trade now. We have that Nvidia short. We just covered a little bit at 179. I was just getting tired of it not going up. I mean, we tried to get that short early. I was just sitting at the wrong price. I was sitting at 90. I should have been right there at that top of 80, and that's where it came into. But we just took the bid there at the 200, which is 179.07, so that's right where it is right now. There it comes in. So here it goes, 35 cents to the downside. At least we talked about this, so hopefully it can work out. But if you guys want to cover, not a bad little play here early, as there goes the market. Look, man, we nailed the market short. It's just... Again, 103.50 is what I wrote down, and it goes up to 103.35, and here's the move right now. Oh boy, man, this is already 50 cents in the money so far on Nvidia, but hopefully it goes down a little bit more than that. We're just, we'll wait. Actually, I'll just put a bid right here at 88. Okay, so we got 88s right there, so that's a smooth 50 cents to start the day. You're welcome, Jonathan, for that Nasdaq short call. It was the biggest trade yesterday. Looks like it could have been an absolute monster there again. So, hey, man, just thank you guys for tuning in. Tune in every day that I'm here. You'll hear commentary like that. So there it is, 178. There goes Nvidia. All right, how are things going over there?
Well, we got a 1-for-1 on LAC, but that's that pre-market high was a quick little scalp trade. We said we'd take the local breakout into the pre-market high. Now we'll just play trend. I don't think this is OpenDoor written all over it. Otherwise, I think, yeah, hold it to $6. But we'll play it by ear. I haven't traded this stock in at least 3 or 4 years. So I want to go VWAP to the high, to VWAP to the high again. It just went 25 to 50s. But I just never felt this stock had $6 in it as well. BBAI is trying to claw its way back up. This is one that we wanted to pop and fade. There we go. BBAI pop and fade. It's not breaking out the high. If it doesn't actually get into this 820 to 850 range, then I'm just going to play it off the pre-market high. Look, I like the move that it's made the last couple of days. We've only really been going long it. I just feel like it's got to a spot on the daily chart where you're running into some resistance. So if this actually closes under VWAP on this candle, which it looks like it's going to, I'm going to pop into the short and give it to the prior high. Like that pre-market top, not that 850 level. Like it's at $8. I'm not holding that all the way to 850.
All right, a little bit of a, so we took out some there at 178.50. So, sorry, 178.30s there. Let me just go check on see what Micron's doing. I don't like to trade earnings plays day of, so we'll see what winds up happening here with Micron. Obviously, it does not hold that 163.50 low there. So here comes Micron back to the downside. We'll just continue to watch out for Nvidia. And if these TQQs can come back up, then we will do that. Let me check out what Amazon's doing here on a battle back from yesterday. It looks like it's sinking as well. Right now, it got as high as 224, just as low right there as 222 again. Those are some of those levels from yesterday there on Amazon. So we could definitely have a good look over there. Yeah, so so far, a couple different names there, Micron, BBAI, and Nvidia, I guess, and then LAC. So yeah, we're trading right now. What was going on with Tesla?
It's at 435.
Ooh, yeah, Tesla.
That's distinctly different from the rest of the market, everybody. Tesla, look, it's bye-bye. So 435 on Tesla. There wasn't any particular story with this. I didn't hate it or love this stock today, so it doesn't really matter. 440, watch out for the 440 level. It's failed a couple of times in here, but this is clearly stronger than just about everything else that I'm looking at. If it's not a small capper, LAC's going, but what does LAC have to do with the overall market? They're going up because they got a government stake, that government stake. So Tesla, super strong. Let us know what else might be moving. BBAI, local support at that 780. So I want to get a couple of legs out at 780, just in case. If this holds 780, you know what the stock is capable of if it gets going. So you want to make sure you take some profit when the short starts working. Adara.
Yeah, I just want to mention here with Tesla, there were a couple analyst notes that were really positive. You can read more about them on our Trader TV Live watch list. But TSLA getting some positive projections here from both Deutsche Bank and Wolf Research. Wolf Research having pretty optimistic targets for the company's Q3 deliveries. So it's a little bit more context here with TSLA. Also keep an eye on BTDR, BitDeer, and Riot platforms. I'm seeing some speculation on X that these companies could be involved with OpenAI, but that, again, this is from 10 hours ago, was just getting recirculated now. Keep an eye on BTDR and RIOT. In terms of economic data, at 10 a.m., we will be having the new home sales change numbers. I'll be delivering those for you here at this desk. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Adara. Yeah, we'll go over all of those numbers with you guys as well. Yeah, I tried to get a little bit more not a little bit more. Again, I'm trying to use 103 now as an anchor for the TQs, and we put an offer there and missed it, 102.90s again, so it went to 102.84. Oh man, just keep on missing the top end of some of those plays. But, the one that we're trying to dip on today, we had Palantir as a long, Nvidia as a short, the market as a short. Right there. So we're going to be positive, obviously, trading today because we only have Nvidia short, which is now 40 cents. But we're going to wait to see what winds up happening here. I'm still looking for 182 on Palantir. That might be not great. The call on the market today was the big one, and it just didn't hit the level. So maybe next time, you kind of go immediately, and it's not like it's huge. The TQs is not falling that fast. It's still only down 0.1. We saw it really get going yesterday. At some point, it could get going today, or we could go completely the other way. Uber right now, back to 100. No, almost got there. Yeah, it got to 99.85. Right there for Uber. So that was close. Now this is starting to fade out again. Oh, damn, man. I mean, Nvidia is actually holding out much better than I thought. Let me put another bid here for 10% in the mid 80s. Hopefully we can get that. There it is. So we get that at 86 right there. See, sometimes you got to put that order out because they'll just spike down and grab you right there. So yeah, man, the future short definitely paying, man. Congratulations, anybody that has that. If you're in any trades, you know, especially the short right now, you might want to consider looking.
Crypto, maybe.
Yeah, you might want to consider. I was just going to say, crypto, yeah, crypto's not moving, I don't think, because I looked at it, it was at 13
Oh, it's not?
flat.
Because Mara's going bat-ish crazy.
I was just going to say, like, I don't know how much the futures can go. Like, so you got to wait. Like, I'd rather it be down here and break and go lower. So you got to watch out for these futures right now. 597 for the Qs, something like that could be a little bit of a bottom there. So that was a good out there on Nvidia for another 10% down there at 178.80. Nvidia is actually much stronger than I thought today. So we're going to have to maybe regroup on some of that thought as here comes the market right back up and looking to go short those TQQs now.
Yeah, BBAI bounced off that afternoon support at 780 here. So, you know, that's 7.75. It's actually exactly 780. 7.75 yesterday, but 780 here this morning. So 8 to 780. I think if this regains 8, you never want to get caught in like that whole liquidity grab on a dip on a squeeze stock. But that's what BBAI looks like right now. So if either we break down through this level and then, you know, we get some follow through and then we can start shorting some lower highs. But otherwise, the stock is kind of basing out here at that 780 level where you found some support the day before. I was mentioning Mara going ham, up now 6% and just 50. Like program buy going on here in Mara, which it's not like you're seeing Bitcoin do anything wild.
Maybe so there's news about Mara. Derek, I don't know if
exactly. Like if anything pops off, like this is IBIT right now.
Pop off.
Barely even breaking out the tops from overnight highs. So that's pretty much a nothing burger there. So Mara potentially a squeeze. I know technically it looks good on the daily chart. Some people said Palantir, at least until it gets to 180, this now looks like a failed break over that prior high. So if it can't hold VWAP anytime soon, then this looks like it could end up being a little bit of a fade play. If it can't get back above the 184, if I see a 184 fail again, then sometimes the fail breaks are really good on Palantir. Remember to hit that like and subscribe. And I want to remind everybody, get in the chat. To do so, you have to be a subscriber and type $ with your symbol so that we can track what the most interesting names are to you guys. Let's go to Adair.
The one thing I'm seeing here, maybe for these miners particularly, because crypto as a whole is fairly strong, but the miners are very much on their own path with regards to the strings. I mentioned a couple minutes ago, there's some people mentioning speculation with regards to Riot and BitDeer in particular, because we have this OpenAI deal. So it's worth noting in general, these centers can, I guess they're being viewed as potentially able to power some AI. So it looks like that could be at least the play for the miners here. A lot of that speculation, though, just based on what I'm seeing online. Back to you.
Yeah, I know I looked at Mara because I saw Mara in the chat, but it's Riot that, as Adair just mentioned, it is most certainly Riot, which is jamming the most here. So 14% here on Riot, and just quickly, this is blue skies. At least in the when you look at the daily chart, you go really far back. So it's a blue sky setup. You're into some big levels as you get to this 1920 range, but you haven't been there since the beginning of 2024. So you're talking almost a couple of years ago. So the last time that it was up here. So big move here for Riot and dragging some of the other miners along with it. Just going to jump back over to Palantir. They have that Boeing news. It's still really unable to, it just failed again at 184, so it can't seem to break out this 184 level at all. BBAI is doing the same thing, and Lithium Americas right back into the volume weighted average price. I'm going to pick some up here at VWAP on LAC. It's not the Clippers, everybody. And if it gets to 6 again, I think that's an obvious place to work. So kind of getting in off the prior high we were getting out before, and then look to play that one at a 560, 580, and so forth. So, you know, LAC, they got the U.S. government looking to take a stake. They didn't actually take a stake, looking to take a stake in them as they rework some loans. Again, I don't think this is a halt candidate or anything like that, so I want to play inside the range. If it breaks out 6, maybe that's a separate story here for Lithium Americas. Very, very large. It's a good size float here too as well. So I wouldn't necessarily expect this is going to do, you know, open door things.
Open door things, okay.
Speaking of which,
those are good things if you're doing open.
That's actually up today.
Oh, OpenDoor is actually up. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, because it's bouncing off that $7 mark. I mean, we sort of talked about that play from yesterday. So good job there. Anybody grabbing some of that? All right, so I was waiting I'm going to take a little bit more here on the TQs, so I've just been covering a little bit of Nvidia because it's not necessarily doing what I thought it would do. I thought it would actually continue downside, so we'll get some more out here at 20s now, and I'm going to wait to get more. Like I got to be a little bit more patient. It was 170, well, a little more patient for the downside, but also not layering into shorts right now either. We got to wait for a little bit higher up, but there's a nice little trade for the TQs. Let me take another piece, or let me take something out at 55 if we can get back down into there. So we just reloaded the short there on it, and we just had a little bit of a dump and didn't take advantage of it because we were looking at Nvidia. So we'll put out a bid right there for the TQs, and we'll put one even lower down there at 40 or so, just to see if that wants to fill. I mean, yesterday we had a really special trade with the futures, so we're going to see if we can do it once again right now. I know I missed the top, but we didn't have that scheduled top at these levels. I was looking for a little bit higher, but there it is right there. 2 for 2 and green today so far, so not bad. We just need Nvidia to go, which I'm not sure it's going to, but here comes into 179. All right, don't I not have a bid there? Yes, I do. So there it is again. Bang. So big, just easy to follow, I think, trades today. We talked about that Nvidia short. We talked about getting the Nasdaq back into the short again. So that is printing right now for that. And then Alibaba not doing anything. So it's kind of doing what I was hope it would do, and that would be find some support. I mean, that's exactly what we wrote down here. More AI news, looking for the long, watching for support, potentially at VWAP. So we'll wait to see what's happening. It looks like it's VWAP support right now, but I'm net short, and man, we're starting to print now as there goes Nvidia breaking back down below one more time. So yeah, man, so far so good. We put a bid here at 90, take some of that out. Nvidia for the win right now here today. So our position board once again is not working, but I'm sure it will be working in just a matter of time.
Yeah, nothing's changed. Long LAC and short BBAI, but I do now want to get Palantir. It's failed 184 a second time, so that local high here is just 184 and a third. I get it, Palantir does have a positive catalyst from yesterday, but this has just been a level that it's had some contention with in the last couple of days. Right? You go back to the morning of yesterday, and you go back to Friday, it's been rejecting the 184 level in earnest. So we want to make sure, if it's a long, to me, it has to be breaking out or getting down to that 180 that I like. So I'm going to short this if we get just underneath 184, and we'll stop out the 184.33 level. BBAI is still very much holding this low from yesterday, like the afternoon low. I don't mean the low of the day on BBAI, but the afternoon low is being held really nicely here. So we're going to try to get another fade into VWAP if I can for a reload, if this actually follows through, just to continue with the trend here. But Mara and Riot are going absolutely ham. If there's any other stocks that are going crazy, everybody, what I want you to do, and I said it when we went to Adara, I just want to make sure everyone got this right. If you're typing a symbol in the chat, type $, like if you're typing, like we'll go $ Mara just to show you an idea, and then you'll see Marvell comes in there, Intel, Iran, I just saw Mara pops in. So make sure you're doing that so that your names will get up there, because Tesla leads the list, AMD, which we haven't even looked at, AMD here yet, Riot now starting to come in there. So thank you guys. Make sure you do that. Easier for us to track what you guys are interested in. That's how we came across that the Riot story, which is lifting Mara as we speak. But here comes a little bit of a pop. I want to get another reload, or a reload, it's not another one, a reload in BBAI on said pop, and we'll see if I actually get into that Palantir. I don't know if it's got the juice to get back up. Palantir on the Nasdaq, of course. Neil?
Well, we've got the juice here. TQ's good reloaded position right there. Starting to go to the downside. That's good, man. And then there goes Nvidia. So we just got a print there of Nvidia 178. And again, it was the number one idea on here is Palantir long 182. That just didn't come in yet. Maybe it will. And then Nvidia 180s and the short as well. So there goes Nvidia. Let's see what winds up happening. But we do have exciting news for Canadians that are out there. Beta Pro by Global X has launched 6 new triple levered ETFs, including 3 times bull and 3 times bear exposure to the TSX 60, believe it or not, semiconductors and US Treasuries. They are offering now a special fee rebate, dropping management fees to just 65 basis points until December 31st of 2025. These ETFs also employ currency hedging to seek and neutralize US dollar exposure, providing performance that may more accurately reflect the underlying US indices. If you're a tactical, sophisticated trader looking to amplify your performance, please check out betapro.ca/3 times Daily X to learn more. We want to thank Global Beta Pro and Global X for sponsoring our show. While we were doing that, we do have a new position, and let's see what winds up happening with it. This is PLTR. So I said, like, we wanted to get that 182. We had written down here 182 long, but it looks like our call on the futures is absolutely trumping everything right now. We have dollar clubs in Nvidia. We have a great move here in the futures as boom right there, and Palantir going the other way. So yeah, if we were so negative on the market, we probably should have stayed away from this one, but it's just an early, it's a bid that I put out a long time ago, and it got filled. So we will watch to see if this can hold 181 on this dramatic move down, but if it doesn't, then we can fly away from this trade. So yeah, not great. We talked about trying to catch the falling knife there, but again, really light position here for Palantir. It came in, and I don't sit there with, if we're ever doing max default, you'll hear me say okay, we've got it, here we go. This is what the day is going to be. Look at what Nvidia is doing though. This is where the money is today. 178.15s and still going lower. Oh man, what a day so far here today. So I think we've only had a few trades, right? I mean,
just a couple.
Yeah, we've traded, I think, 2 or 3 names for you, 3 names for me. So, which is pretty much max. I don't use too many more trades than this, obviously. It only takes a couple of good ones. Nvidia TQs, and now we just averaged into 181 there for Palantir. So let's see if this can climb. We're long at 181.70. I think it's worth dropping some if we can get back in the 50s. Palantir looks weak, man, as does this whole market. So this breaks 180s, we are out. Palantir not working right now for the long, and we probably should not have even been sitting there, but it's kind of just a scratch for today. So we'll wait to see. It looks like it's going to break it. The market short is really where the money's at there today. I mean, the longs have been few and far between. I know you got LAC there, so I hope that can work out. And
in theory, might not care what the market's doing.
Shouldn't, no.
It should. I mean, you can go a couple of ways with that,
there goes,
right?
It's Palantir.
As a lithium play, you could maybe look at EV demand and care about that, but I don't think this is about that story. It's so long as it holds VWAP, I think we're good to go on this stock. BVI just lost a bid in a big way. This market does not want to go. And that Palantir, yeah, I canceled. Obviously, I'm not going to get 184 again. But that failure we're talking about at 184, once it confirmed, it absolutely fell all over itself. But I have to respect, if the market's going down like this, there is a wall at 570. It was a scalp trade the first time. I'm not convinced that this is anything like OpenDoor or any of those types of names. So I think this might be more of a, let me listen to myself. I think this might be more of a station-to-station play. You get the bounce off VWAP, it shows a seller, jump out in front of that seller, and then buy the next available dip. So I'm going to stick with that pattern here on LAC. BBAI did not give me a reload. That's still, BBI it's been on a tear. It's just, when the stock goes from $5 to local resistance in a week and a half, it feels like it's a little bit overdone, but it's still holding 775. So 8 gave you that quarter. There still hasn't been a breakdown further than that yet. OpenDoor's already dumping? No, we wanted that one to get to 8. Yeah, I wanted this to get to $8 for a fade on OpenDoor. OpenDoor's not dumping. That's not dumping. OpenDoor is at VWAP up 5.5%. OpenDoor is not dumping. I think it could dump today, but definitely couldn't characterize that as dumping at all. Slightly down.
Out of the ordinary. Shout out to some dude I think named Alex Warren or something like that. Sings the song Ordinary. Hopefully we're far from
Tesla
ordinary
is still
right now.
Yeah.
Is Tesla still going good? Okay, that's good. We can have a look at Tesla. I just want to give everybody an idea here. This is $1.70. Now in the money on Nvidia. You're welcome, Silverado Blue. Let me do a roll call. First of all, everybody around here, no matter what comes for lunch, you can always enjoy some fruit salad. I mean, all right, yo, yay or nay? Where my guy Sharif at, man? There it is. What's up to French toast? All right, let's do this. Let's roll call. Let me see who's here. Let me see who's here. All right, Gworev is here. Yeah, what up? Oh, Mr. Westermeyer. Don't spam my face, my guy. I mean, I've already got some problems. All right. Hey, what's up? Maximus is here. Yo, Jake Roberts. We're DDTing the market. Yo, T-Money. How are you feeling? What's up, T-Money? Rafiki, what's up, Rafiki? Hope you're doing well in that Disney crew over there. Yeah, for sure. Pranet is here checking out. Please check in more often, please. Hugh something. Yo, it's Mike P. D. Ryder. We've got Donkey Trader. We've got Buffalo Soldier. Oh my God. This is a blast from the past. Good day, mate. This is my guy. It's Russell, the Bacon Man Jackson. You know, I'm never going to forget that, Russ. Never going to forget that. Neil likes to have this this Vegemite.
We're never throwing it out.
Shout out.
And we're not eating it either, but we're not throwing it out.
We are definitely not. Yeah, we can keep it over here.
No, we're damn sure not eating it. Obi doesn't mind, but I'm not eating it.
Yeah. Yo. What's up, Americas and everybody else out there? So there it is, man. Everybody, hopefully everybody's doing well. Right there. Yo, Tranquil Trader, Sean Don. The original Don has now improved. Yeah, there it is. Badman She Love. Hey, we're providing content and banger trades. Thank you so much for watching, man. All we can really ask for you guys to do is hit the like and hit the subscribe. You know, the trades are speaking for themselves. So you can hopefully have some success and, you know, make the trades you want. Hit that visualizer, you know, hit the $sign, get into the chat as well. I'm wondering if Alibaba has potentially made a little bit of a bottom. Right now off that 200 period moving average. We could try some Alibaba soon. Right now I think that's getting close to being a buy, but it just bounced off around 175. So we could try that. I'm a little biased obviously to this market short. And look what happened to Palantir, by the way. So now it's up against where we were long, but that's okay. Palantir does have the goods, so we will have to wait to see if that one wants to get going. I still want to go long on PLTR, and maybe we might have missed that bottom there at 180.50, so we'll have to be patient and try to wait for that. All right, Alibaba could be coming into the position board very, very soon. Would like it a little closer to 175, but this is a pretty good move right now for Alibaba to get back into the long, or into the long for once. So we'll try it. Small rate here at 176, and if it dips in again, we'll average it into 175.70 or so. But right now, there it is, man. It's a new position alert. It's Alibaba, so let's see what winds up happening here on BABA.
Yeah, Baba looking solid relative to the market. It didn't break down, which is always a good sign, right? Like if you're not falling all over yourself, I think it's got some relative strength. Palantir did not quite get, like they had a bottoming tail candle into 180.5, but I like the 180 level a little bit better. And when Palantir is a falling knife, you want some confirmation. It's going to be, it's already a trend break, but I'm not chasing that kind of a steep trend break. So if it can hold on at least to this higher low, I might take my first shot at it. We did get a bit of a reload and I almost said Alibaba. I meant BBAI. I've been making that mistake all morning, like typing the wrong symbol in here. If this gets back above, my price now 96. If this gets back above $8, I tap out and look for another re-entry point in here. LAC. Not the Clippers, but Lithium Americas just continues to rally. It's now at $6. I'm going to try to buy every dip that's able to hold on to this thing because now it does seem to want to go ham. I didn't think it had 100% in it. I thought, yeah, you know, we'll get to the highs and then it'll sell off a little bit and this isn't going to be an OpenDoor type story where it's just breaking out those tops and going parabolic. So if it doesn't fail break, I'll look for a dip buy into the volume weighted average price because that's how I roll on this bad boy. So Palantir looking for that sucker to try to hold these lows. It's not happening. The stock can't find a bite. Can't find it.
Okay. What was that name that we just said we're going to go long on? We talked about it. It's on the sticky note. It says, let's go long if and when it finds a bottom. New Dollar Club member. This is in 1 minute. Like, it's like if you can find the right names at the right levels, trading can be something special. There it goes. We just bought this. I mean, we're long Alibaba at 176.01. Okay. The day continues, man. The saga continues. You know, throw up our woo right now for Wu-Tang. There goes Alibaba. I don't know. I mean, I'm already out of half, so, you know, $1 that quick. All right, let's see what happens now. So there it goes, man, 178. I mean, we're here and doing this live. Man, I can't wait till it can be special. Mike Peter up. Okay. All right, now we're getting uncomfortable. All right, Alibaba now $1.50 in the money and going.
What's uncomfortable about it?
Just, Neil, the streak that we're on. It's like it's getting to be uncomfortable now because I feel like we're going to be probably putting in like too much risk into some of these plays. But there it goes, man, to the upside. And it's just like, this is just becoming such a great euphoric market and just trading wise. I mean, to be able to call the Nvidia short there went $2, the TQ trade today, the Alibaba trade. It's been really an awesome run. I told you guys I was mentioning this, you know, we had our best month last month of all time, and we're just topping it up this month again. Like, it's just, we're having such a great run here, and it's been fantastic to be here and doing it live with everybody and just showing, you know, what worth exactly we give here. So hopefully you guys, you know, enjoy the show. But we do have numbers right now with Adara. There goes Alibaba 150 now in the money. We love all of you.
Yeah, these new home sales are stronger than we were expecting, 20.5%. So 20.5%, that was the new home sales change on a month-over-month basis. Forecast was negative 0.3%. So positive, which we weren't expecting, and much higher than expected. New home sales units, 0.8 million. So that would be 800,000 new homes versus estimates of 650,000 new homes. Again, much better than expected. The market not reacting too much to this number, continuing to push a little bit lower. Nothing major on the docket here in terms of economic data other than this print. We don't have any commentary from Donald Trump on his schedule anyway, though, of course, things can always change. I also want to mention, too, Fed's daily speaking at 4. That's after the close. Other than that, not too much to worry about here. Again, much stronger than expected new home sales for August. Micron, one of the names on watch here today, they did have earnings better than expected and their guidance well above expectations here as well. But the market not seeming to care too much at this point. We talked a lot about crypto is really strong, but it's not just crypto. It's a lot of these miners in particular. I've seen some people attribute this strength to all of these AI investments with regards to Oracle and OpenAI, because some of these data centers these Bitcoin miners can be poised to benefit with regards to energy requirements. Regardless, RAOT is one of the strongest here. They also got a price target of $26 and a buy rating this morning from Arete Research. Before we send you back to the guys, we're going to take a moment to thank our friends at Origenics, because each year 3.8 million concussions are reported in the U.S., but there's still no FDA-approved treatment. NYSE listed Origenics, OGEN, is changing that with its first-in-class intranasal drug designed for rapid brain access, with the concussion treatment market projected to reach $8.9 billion by 2027. Origenics is uniquely positioned to lead the way. Learn more. Schedule a meeting today. See you.
Let's see if Randy can bring another.
Thank you, Adair. Appreciate it. I see Webull in there. Everyone's talking about Bull making a strong run. And look, those miners are absolutely ham right now. But I find it hard to believe that they can hold up with the market going down like this, but we're looking for that. BBI lost VWAP, but is still holding that $8 level. So I'm going to try it again here at that 8. Yeah, held yesterday's lows, afternoon lows, I should say, just a correction. But that $8 level still looking very good. LAC stared a million plus. It was several million shares on the offer at $6. It didn't care. It busted through, but so far a bit of a failed break on LAC at that $6 level. You're seeing it try to pull back. I think you can get to VWAP on a dip from that $6 level. So as it fails $6 even, I'm just going to double check. I don't even know if, we'd have to. Not that I was going to short it, but we don't have shorts on this stock. So it's probably hard to borrow for anybody out there, because it is for us. But looking for the VWAP reload as LAC continues its rally. Government wants a 10% stake. Maybe look for Albemarle. Mm-hmm. That's not Albemarle, it's Alba. Marl as a bit of a sympathy play. If you're looking for something that's not 90% up, but I want to play in the lithium space, that would be the name. Palantir, it's now looking a little bit better, but I just watched 181 hold jump right into 82 and then immediately slam back down into the $0.50. So it needs to catch a little bit more of a bid here. I think you're starting to go. Chill Vibe saying MU dumping.
Take a look.
Micron's dumping. Hold on a second. Palantir didn't really get down to the level I liked. I'm asking myself, because I wanted to short 184 on Palantir in a failed break. The problem is if it gets back up there, that's not a failed break anymore. It's just going to the same price that it did the failed break. So I'm gonna stay away from Palantir short back through that 184 level if it comes up there. The next trade to me is going to be that LAC. So as that comes into VWAP, that's where I want to focus. It's at 580. It's about halfway there into the volume weighted average price. So I think my focus is going to be LAC. Micron is not dumping. It's only down a couple of points, but it might as well be because they beat top bottom and had strong guidance, and everyone's talking about how much they stand to benefit from all of this build out. So yeah, sometimes it's priced perfectly. I mean, the stock's a triple up since April. That's all I can give you. The stock is a triple up since April. So unfortunately, sometimes people like to take profit. I thought it would have held a little bit more of that aftermarket move. And when it doesn't, I think sometimes you just got to stay away. You know, it is what it is. But we saw Oracle on that big gap up, couldn't hold. So the market's in a profit-taking mode, I think. That's all.
Yeah, you take your shots, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. OpenDoor is another one that some guys took shots at yesterday at $7. I mean, again, it came right into those levels and printed. So congratulations, anybody that sort of took some of that trade for what it was worth yesterday down there at 7. So there's OpenDoor breaking lower right there right now. We do have a little bit of news here today. So Alibaba, of course, today surging on company announced increased AI investment, right? It's 53 billion 3-year plan. It actually added to that. Artificial super intelligence, Qwen 3 Max out there today. And, you know, Alibaba continues to work, and it's been great. We wanted to wait for a bottom. That came through as well. Lithium America, of course, as Neil was just talking about right there today. They get their active talks with the U.S. government here to put some money back into this, a joint project also with General Motors. So Lithium America only up 91%, but still ripping. That's you know, similar to vein of following something like a MP, which really ripped off of its news with the government. So boom, and then now even higher, obviously, than where it was that day. So this 91% may just be getting started on LAC. I want to congratulate anybody with that one. Micron, obviously lower move there today. Wasn't even on my radar going into today. Obviously, it was an earnings play. This is part of the reason why we're short the market right now and having a decent day here, is because Micron has a decent number, but the market didn't like it. So if they don't like decent numbers, then I ask myself, and just like what I said on here, where does the market go then? You know, if they don't like this play, which is why we pick on Alibaba, you know, to be honest with you. I'm now out of like 70% of this Alibaba. Oracle today expands again. I mean, there's just new moves happening. Data center footprint, obviously AI and SoftBank here on Oracle, but we wait again. You know, they're going to be the ones holding all the data for the TikTok algorithm if that deal winds up going down. So as long as TikTok doesn't go anywhere, these guys are going to have a revenue stream of billions and billions of dollars for quite a long time, let alone the deals that they're making with OpenAI and everybody else. Look at NVIDIA right now. This is a name that we could have just reloaded there, but we didn't. We don't have too many shares there. Amazon and Wells Fargo upgraded Amazon today due to, again, strong cloud. I mean, we always knew that they had a nice cloud. AWS, of course, expansion, just like how Google and Oracle has been going to the upside. Amazon obviously has that ability to, you know, produce similar results in their cloud, let alone their retail business, let alone Zoox and everything that they're doing. Really like Amazon down there. It does tick into yesterday's lows again today at 221.50. So we'll have to wait to see if yesterday's exact low of 220 winds up working out. And then Tesla here as well. And I'm just I don't have too much more to run down, so let me just quickly do this. TSLA LA right here for Tesla. Again, the story here for Tesla is they're expected to lead the Chinese EV market again right now, 27% increase from their deliveries last month. And it just looks like their Chinese peers are now taking a look. I mean, we had that report yesterday. I forget who it was from. It wasn't Mizuho. It was somebody else that had come out and said that, like, you know, Tesla's still the belle of the ball, and that was coming from China. Story there about the technology and how efficient they're at making the cars. And so, you know, that really helped with Tesla's movement there yesterday. But yesterday was a down day. So today, a little surprising that Tesla keeps going higher. All right, Alibaba right back to these levels now, man. All we're seeing is our net continue to climb. It's been a great green day so far. Let's see if we can hold that. I mean, we're getting out of everything here. So it's only 10:09. We'll look to make some more trades, but here comes the market back down one more time. NVIDIA maybe take advantage of this move and get another piece out.
Yeah, and shout out to everyone in the chat for putting a lot of interesting tickers in there for sure. One of which I'm still looking. We'll talk about Intel in a little bit because obviously that one's going crazy. There was that IDAI Intel story that Adara mentioned. So when people are asking why is Intel up, Adara did mention that story. We can go over it a little bit later as well. Mr. Westermeyer, I know you're long on LAC. Congrats on that one. Appreciate it. And then Alan Newton Jr. mentioning OpenDoor at that $8 level. This is where we're looking for a bit of a fade. It was more into 8 to 820 was the local high, but any trend break at this price level is going to make sense to me. So as long as we can hold underneath this 8, let's see a close. I liked 8 to 820. I kind of wanted a false break of that 8 level, be able to fade it, like trap some longs over 8. I don't think that's happened yet. So the first look will be just to the local high. Like I'll get in, if it makes a new high, jump out and wait for that 820 range. And maybe, as I said, trapping some people above the $8 level. LAC doesn't seem, Lithium Americas doesn't seem to want VWAP yet. But it's still trending back after that $6 push. It's just, they've only really bought local breakout. That was that 525 level, and then VWAP here. So VWAP's pretty much the only place I'm looking on Lithium Americas at 10% stake the government's taking. So we're into OpenDoor. It also shouldn't care what the market is doing. You're just kind of looking at the $8 technical level or anything. The market could tank and OpenDoor's not going to care. Market could rip and OpenDoor could easily fall just as well. No big stories, but there was some chatter. It wasn't chatter, but there was a note yesterday about how U.S. mortgage rates, you know, could be ticking lower in the future. Maybe that had something to do with this gap overnight. I don't know. But either way, into resistance, we're short in OpenDoor. And yeah, Intel, as I said, super strong. When you factor in what the market is doing right now, 5% up on Intel, certainly very strong here. And holding trend at the high of the day. Going to take some patience with this because yesterday, it was a short at 30 for most of the morning, which worked out really well, just shorting 30 over and over again. And this is a big area on the daily chart between 30 and 31. So if it gets to $31, I'd look for a similar thing to happen where just sort of resist that level and start going short on Intel. Just don't think this is big enough of a deal to push us through 31 today.
Yeah, no, we took some of that Intel money and bought some Nvidia the other day, and it might not have worked out because Intel's all the way back where we got out at $30.70.
Why is
Look, we're just covering some more Nvidia down there. We got a little bit more out of Alibaba as well as we turn really light now into all of these positions, right? I mean, the TQs continues to. Okay, this is now that I see this is the problem about trading. Again, a little bit different, like I was talking about different share sizes and things like that. Like, sometimes you'll not look at certain things when they're happening because you're focused on another name. But right now I am looking here and there it is. Okay, good. Whew. I almost punched out there and then realized that it ripped. So, all right, or came back in. We just got out some more at 102.24 there. So 50 cents there for the TQs, $1 for Alibaba, $1 rate. And it's funny because it's $1 both ways, right? The Nvidia is $1 short, the Baba is $1 long. And, if you guys are looking for it, we have new viewers all the time, please hit the like and the subscribe. But this is all you need. You need our watch list. But there it is, man. It's Nvidia right there. There's the short. There's the market short. We tried Palantir long. I mean, you saw me do that, not hiding from that trade. And then Alibaba there as well, long, once we find support. So we talked about it. It definitely was support down there at 175. I missed that bottom. We took, you know, sometimes you just got to take trades, even if they're not at the best levels. And that was it right there, just riding that 200 period moving average for Alibaba. So we're long at 176. Best out's 177.50s. So if we can get back up to there, then that would be a decent trade. And so that's good. And for some reason, Nvidia keeps on bouncing. This is the 21 period moving average sloping like that. So yeah, this is an interesting, I just put this indicator up, so we're trying to watch out for that, and it's been doing pretty good. I'm actually going to take, what am I doing? I only have 2% left of Nvidia. Okay, so yeah, we'll just face slap it. We're out of Nvidia, so now we have to look for a reload. I'll put the rest of it maybe. Where are we? Okay, just in case this goes back up, I'm just going to bid out right now at 75. Hopefully it comes down and fills me. Like I said, we have less than 2% of this position left, so no worries there. I guess didn't realize what the shares that we had there, but that's okay. Most of the outs, again, we talked about trying to hold for the downside. Like at that point, that was probably a decent amount out, and then as you go, more and more downside right there. So yeah, more outs of the TQs as well. Like I said, we're just trying to get out of everything now, and then go from there. The stock of Bitcoin and IBIT not really moving around. I mean, I could see the price of Bitcoin, so I'm just going to assume right here nothing is going on. I see everybody putting in Baidu. Baidu's now up 6% on the day. We'll get some news from Adara. Oh, there it is right there. Baidu's Apollo Go granted Dubai's first batch of autonomous drive testing licenses. So Baidu right there grabbing Dubai licenses for that. So that's pretty cool. So we'll have to wait to see what happens there with Baidu trying to go back upside. And then the name Tencent, TCEHY, was something that I was trying to get into. The fact that this is up 2% and not moving, maybe I should be getting into that as well. But all right, we got to go.
They got a piece of everything.
Yeah. With if trading's not paying the bills, maybe this will. Let's go.
In 14 years, BTCC has had 0 hacks and 0 excuses. They deliver when others don't. Trade Bitcoin up to 500 times leverage, even Tesla, gold, and Forex. With smart copy trading, you don't just watch the pros, you can trade like them. Regulated in the US, Canada, and Europe, and trusted by 6.8 million traders. And Trader TV Live has an exclusive here. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description for a 15% deposit bonus. BTCC.com, where the pros trade, and so can you. And if you try to get those sniper trades, the market trying to bounce back a little bit here. So just this was mentioned in the chat, and I said this in the chat, but I didn't say it out loud to you guys. OpenDoor is short sell restricted, so it's an uptick rule in effect. Doesn't mean you can't short it, obviously, but it does mean that you have to wait for an uptick, the last print, if you want to short it on the way down. So if you're trying to hit the bid, like, you actually have to have the last print be green. But look at it catch that bid here. So we got the first stop into 790 from the 8 short. I'm out short at 99. But if this so much as takes a higher low, I'm getting out of this thing for a flat trade. You know, we got in, I think, at the right time. But if it doesn't follow through, it doesn't follow through. You know, that's all you can do. Like, sometimes you take it off early, and it makes all the sense in the world. Sometimes you do, and it doesn't work. Still looking for LAC to try to pull back into the volume weighted average price, but have a look at what is going on. Like, when you look at Mara and Riot, like, Bitcoin's still doing absolutely nothing. I'll get to Riot and Mara in a quick little second, but I just wanted to show you guys on OpenDoor, like, the reason for the tight stop. Like, you get in, sniper in at the exact high, but the buyers come in right away 10 cents. So risk it about 5 pennies. That's what you have to be able to do. You don't want to take, like, what have been your good decisions and have them outweighed by the bad, right? So make sure you have a stop. And I'm not here to tell anybody what to do. It's just make sure you have a stop. I'll give you the reason why I had a very tight stop on that open. I think it's going against the grain. And if I'm going against the grain, then you have to be even more disciplined. What is now happening on LAC, if it doesn't get to VWAP, is I can now draw a trend line from the volume weighted average price in here, starting to connect it out. So if it holds this, and breaks 6 again, then if it breaks the high of the day, then I'll work with the trend line. Otherwise, it's still the volume weighted average price that's going to concern me the most. And yes, Riot, yes, Mara as well. Double top. This is clearly on one today. So look, I wasn't planning on trading Riot, but when it's up 15% and doing 20 million shares in volume and is relatively strong, if you're looking for longs, like it would almost be criminal not to look for this to the long side. Like what more could you ask for in terms of trend? It's breaking out on a daily chart as well, so you have some pretty significant levels that are getting taken out as we speak. When I look at that 15, it's a pretty clear breakaway as well. So you have lots of continuation here, specifically for Riot. Outside of the open, like that first 30 minutes, I don't like high of the day breaks when you get to like 10, 20 or so, unless I absolutely love the blue skies above, and I don't think that's the case here. But a little bit of a fail break and then buy the dip as some 20s get trapped makes some sense for me. So strong move here across the board. Riot, Mara looking good. Just feels as if Riot up that 16%. Look at Mara. Mara's up 5, and Mara just has already pulled back. So the story is Riot. The move is Riot, 100%. And CompuCare team, can you trade HIMS? Well, we can trade any stock we want. I just don't have it. There wasn't a particular catalyst with this for HIMS. So like for me, this was not on my watch. Today, you got to make sure. Look, someone asked us this morning, how do we get the stocks that are moving? Lithium Americas was in play. So we liked the long on that because it was positive news and it was a continuation play and we liked the levels. But you've got to make sure that you have your own watch list, and HIM's just not going to be on it. We did get a super chat that looks like we missed here. So Christopher Mulligan, that's a good one. Whoever voted no on French toast, catch me outside. I didn't look. I love French toast. I just didn't think the French toast that we got this morning was all that great. Zombie brain calories, that'll work. LDI might follow open for a nice jump. Okay. Certainly worth a look. LDI. That's not on my radar. I feel like if I'm going to trade open, I'm just going to stick with OpenDoor. Yeah, that's... If you're ever looking for... Here, I'll show you that daily chart first. Like, that makes some sense. You're trying to catch a bit of a falling knife and a bit of a bounce play on the daily, and it's up today, this LDI. It just doesn't seem like it's got any volume to go with it. So sometimes stocks like this end up being better like swing plays than anything else, because since I pulled it up, there's been barely any prints on this thing. So it's a day trade. I never want to see that. Like I want to see actual printing when I pull up a symbol at 10:20. Let's go back to the desk with Adara and see if we can't get that LAC dip buy. What's that?
It's small cap recap time. The IWM is basically barcoding. We're not going to talk about that right now. We will talk about Lithium Americas a little bit more here. LAC. Now, I do apologize, guys. All these names are above that $1 billion market cap level, but lots of movers here today, of course, to keep an eye on. Lithium Americas, reportedly, the Trump administration is seeking an equity stake in this company. It's part of a larger renegotiation of a loan for the Thacker Pass lithium project. GM is involved to some extent in the funding of that as well. So lots of different parties on watch here. You're going to read more about this on our Trader TV Live watch list. LAC, either way, nicely to the upside. I was seeing about a 15% short float. Neil said around 11. So low double digits in the teens is, I guess, the consensus there. $1.5 billion market cap is what I was seeing for that one. Now we have RIOT, Riot Platforms, with a $7 billion market cap. So it is a bit larger. It is part also of the Russell 2000, and as I mentioned earlier, strength across the board, not necessarily with crypto as much as it is with these minor plays. And RIOT does have its own catalyst. It's getting a positive rating here from Arete Research. Last but not least, OPEN, OpenDoor, pushing to the upside. This one did struggle a little bit earlier this week. Eric Jackson, the hedge fund manager who's been really active on X and who has been given a lot of credit for OpenDoor's rally. He's now gotten involved with a different stock, BETR. And yesterday, OpenDoor also had its third largest investor sell a whole bunch of shares. So OPEN did have some struggles yesterday. Today it looks like it's trying to rebound. And before we send you back to the guys, I do want to take a moment to thank our friends at Trade the Pool. Did you know that instead of making your own money, you can now trade with someone else's capital? There's no more fear of losing or no more moving your stop loss too soon. You will actually get enough capital to make it worth your time so you can aim for big profits, not just a couple of $100 a month. This is the revolution called limited risk trading, and it's powered by Trade the Pool. Here's how it works. Join Trade the Pool, hit the profit goal, and keep 70% of the profits. Visit tradethepool.com or scan the QR code now for 10% off. See you.
Thank you very much, Adara. Thank you very much, Adara. Now remember, I just saw this in the chat. LAR getting a bump off. So remember, Lithium Americas split themselves up, right? So LAC and LAR are different entities. So it might be getting a sympathy play, but there's not a fundamental necessarily play here in that LAR. LAC also, for if you're at real trading and for some reason wanted to short this, if you have to pay in the US, we have free locates here at Real Trading on lac.to. So this is legitimately dual listed. And I don't think the currency is going to move that much that you care too much about it, but if you happen to be trading at Real Trading, LAC available in Toronto for sure. But LAC, which I'm going to trade in New York, just because that does. It trades in the pre-market. Toronto doesn't typically trade a lot in the pre-market, but the volume just fantastic and much more volume here in the US than you're going to find in the Toronto market for this stock. Not every single dual listed stock. And this is actually, it's a Canadian company. They're headquartered in Vancouver, LAC, but it's at VWAP here. And again, if you wanted to short it for free at Real Trading, you could go over to lac.to. But I'm trying to catch this off the volume weighted average price for sure as the market heads down, and this holds up, at least for now. At least for now. I just saw in the chat TXN breakout and Marvell. It was just a buyback on Marvell. There was no other news. Was there an analyst? No.
No. It's Katina Capital upgrade, but we didn't. We upgraded a long time ago, so we'll have to wait.
It was just the.
It's funny. I got Neil a coffee, and then I got myself one, and I went to go say what's up, and the milk system was rinsing into my coffee, so that's why I was a little late. So I delivered Neil's coffee there.
You know what I dislike about it? You leave your coffee for like just a few extra seconds.
That's what it was.
After filling it in, you could just turn your head, and all of a sudden it just starts rinsing the milk.
Right. So I was just like,
your coffee.
That's nasty. I was like, what
it's
the
so bad.
Anyways, you got a fresh one.
Well, as long as you don't accidentally not. Like if you walked away and came back and you don't know that it happened.
Exactly. I would actually consider lucky that I came back, but it would have been. It was more full, like it's almost overflowing because all of a sudden the rinse is happening, and yeah. So shout out to.
I know because I accidentally took a sip one time and I was like, you got to be kidding.
Right there, yeah. I told Randy. Randy was sitting on his desk doing whatever, and I said, what happened? We asked for the reload, but he's a busy guy there. I know everybody wants to see Randy, not our mugs. So Randy right now going to, I'm not even connected here. My earpiece lost connection when I was walking around the back office, so we'll try to get that connected in a minute. Okay, well, we come back to basically the same story right there. This is not $1. This is not $2. We're almost $3 now. We're long at 176. This is at 178.50 here on Baba. So again, I like the fact that the trades work out, the way that we sort of thought they would, and that was wait. I'm going to get some out at 62 if I can right now because this looks like we had a swipe down there. So let's see if we can. Okay. Ooh, wow. That was me. What the hell? That was me at 60. Okay, well, I'll take a 47. That was me at 62 that just got missed there. So we take a 47 out and now watch this thing fall down just a little bit. It's amazing sometimes how these fills happen and, out of nowhere most of the time. And you don't expect them on these swipes. So, all right, let's look elsewhere right now. We will get our Andre. Any notes you need to pass to Neil? I don't have it in my ear right now. Let me check out what Ethereum's doing again. So ETHA. We did see a run in this name, obviously, over the last month or so, and that was very much fueled by individuals who was sparking some of those treasuries. Whether or not wrong, it's not to throw shade at that. That's what happens, right? Stocks get upgraded, we buy them. Stocks get downgraded, they go down. I mean, Tom Lee was basically just upgrading Ethereum and talking about where the need for all that was. We know that Ethereum also gets going with the Genius Act as a lot of stable coins and whatnot. So same as Solana are built over there. And as they become more and more, into real life uses. I mean, we talked about how Coinbase now offering 4.5% on USDC stablecoin cash, just sitting there, and you could stake Ethereum, you could stake Solana. All my Solana is staked as well. So I don't know what that. I think that's like 2 or 3%, but that's because I don't want to sell it. But that's that's something. And so there are a lot of tailwinds and headwinds. I feel like both for crypto. I mean, a big headwind to me is just why. is an understanding of what's going to move the market here for crypto, because gold continues to go higher, store of value, right? I mean, we know that gold does allow for traders to gain exposure to an asset that can move opposite equities. And so I feel like with equities topping out, I would thought Bitcoin has a very similar premise to it, but it's just been going down since this market's at all-time highs and gold's at all-time highs. So a little worried about that, but here it is. All right, so last 7 days, man, down 3% in Bitcoin, down 7% there in Ethereum. Ripple, it's right at that level that we last bought, so I'm not going to be buying any more down here at 280. Okay, Solana's gone down 10% as well. That 250 was almost all-time highs that it ran up to, so I should have been more attached to that and got something out there, but did not. And then, of course, USD is there. Doge is here as well at 24 cents. Interesting play. And Cardano, every time I'm looking at it, it's 82. It's like 82 cents or 88 cents. It's like, well, it can't be any other than that. So those are the big ones that a lot of traders, and they were all named, of course, in the whatever the crypto treasury by the U.S. government was a reserve that they were building, and yeah, it doesn't seem like much is going on there. Ethereum's at the reason why I call this up is that the most interesting level for me, right there at 3150. You know, coming back in, I mean, there's that support, Neil, from December. So you go, you know, there's not too many names, like I said, that you're going to be able to find key levels. And I just think that this is a very, very...
If you lose that, 30%.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I think 30% on ETH.
So
well, not like obviously not
here,
instantly.
20.
It'll take some time to do that, but...
It could be an instant play. I mean, that's the other thing. It's like, I want to know what the sparks are. That's the thing. I want to know what the sparks are. When was the
last time it moved that much?
30%. Well, I mean, this move right here is 20. This happened in July 10th.
In a week or two.
Yeah, and then by the time, so from 20 to, so 30% had to be 26. Yeah, so right into there, no, $6 on 20. Yeah, okay, so right into there. Yeah, so that, Neil, took about, 6 or 7 trading days. So if we do lose that, 200 period moving averages are great. And I think this looks a lot like a stock. I mean, so does IBIT. And we want to buy good companies down here. So if you are a believer of Ethereum and of, you know, what the crypto space may eventually mean, because I don't think it means too much now. I mean, there's a lot of ETFs out there that continue to support it, but we can't really pay for anything yet. You can, but it's not like universally loved for that.
Tesla is
Alibaba's Alibaba's $3 in the money. What's going on, Tesla?
Tesla just broke 440. This is yesterday's highs. This is also the price on. I wasn't here on Monday, but you can see it fell apart at 440. Right about noon, looks like exactly at noon, this fell at 440. So this would be the big resistance level here for Tesla. I did mention someone's like, Neil, you missed OpenDoor at 820. I did miss a trade because it's SSR. So when I was trying to hit a bid up here, and it was this double tap, like when it double tapped 20 on a 30 minute, I tried to get it back through like 18 and just, you know, I didn't get filled because it's SSR. Now that it's coming back to the upside, I might try to short it again at that 820 price. But Tesla, super strong here today. Definitely holding forward. Like when I look at the visualizer, like there's a reason why. I mean, Tesla's going to be up there, number one. I mean, OpenDoor, OpenDoor is up 12%, so that makes sense. Anytime OpenDoor is in play, it seems to lead here. I think some people like to spam that one. I wonder if it's OpenDoor once. And then Intel with that the IDAI news. So that IDAI stock's also going crazy. Not that anyone seems to be talking that much about it, but Intel up on that news. LAC, we've talked about the miners for sure. Amazon now back into the green as well after yesterday's bit of a dump. The U.S. government looking to tax them a little bit. That's what they do, man. Like they tell you you're too big. They tell you make it too hard for people to cancel, and they're stuck with you. And you know they'll extract their dollars out of Amazon, and then it'll just go right back to the highs like it always does. Let's go to Adara.
Like that call.
Yeah, I just want to let you guys know here, we did, I just have the market up, but we did just get these oil numbers. So EIA gasoline inventories, negative 1.081 million. That is higher than the forecast of negative 1.312 million. Then we have EIA distillate inventories, negative 1.685 million. Excuse me, lower than the forecast of positive 0.25 million. So higher than expected gasoline inventories, lower than expected distillate inventories here, guys. Back to you.
Okay. Yo, what's up, Andre? I do now have connection. All right. don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But right here, we are now Moon City. So again, like, you know, we're talking about, thanks, I love you, Marissa, by the way. She's watching, as she does most days. And yeah, she just said, ooh, your coffee. So that's how I know that obviously she's watching. So shout out to my lovely wife. Thank you for everything that you've given the family. All right. So, you know, she helped me realize that I have way too many pairs of shoes. Yesterday, I got home and she had cleaned out the whole front closet. And yeah, it was, I think my daughter and I maybe have combined like maybe 20 pairs in like our front hall closet. So that's probably, now maybe combined more than that. What am I even talking about? Yeah, and then I also have like shoes upstairs and everything. So, and I just got, I'm going to debut my,
I feel like it's easy to have too many shoes, but my wife can't say ish to me because she has twice as many as I do. So like I have a boatload in our front closet, but because it's a fraction of what she has, she literally can't say a word.
Right, so that's the thing. It's like, but my wife also does have many pairs of shoes. So that's not that. I was just saying I was so impressed with the amount of work that she did. Thank you so much, Life's Interpretation. If a trading machine is a good thing, then I'll take that. So Sean is a trading machine. I'll take it. Right there it is, back to back days. There it is. Yeah, behind every good man is a great woman. Yeah, well, I mean, the word great doesn't do it, but you are definitely right there. Are the brown shoes, yeah, what the ones that were in my, I don't even, I basically don't own dress shoes. Like I do have maybe one pair of dress shoes, and yeah. Hey dudes, okay, we'll check out some of those shoes as well. But anyways, thank you so much for all the nice comments about the trading. And of course, you can ask us, we don't disclose share size, but you can ask us how our day is going. We don't have a problem telling you the green or red or what symbols are worst or are best or anything like that to try to help you guys out. And but there it goes. And I just want to say, like, we can all do this, right? It's not just you know, the sticky note or anything like that. It's like you got to put out your notes and you kind of got to go with it. So like there's Baba, and what we wrote down for Alibaba was pretty simple. We're now $4 and the $3.50 in the money, right? More AI love and spend. We love that. We're waiting for support, maybe VWAP. Also the Nvidia short as well that was printing, that we're now out of, which is much lower, and then the TQQs as well. That trade is well crushing right now. So it's just like, there's the Alibaba trade. We said, I mean, all we wrote down was wait for support. As soon as we saw it, I actually had a bid lower once we saw it, but then I was like, you know what, let's just take some. And we did, and there goes Alibaba. And you know, in the we talked about, you know, honesty is the best policy and stuff like that. I don't have like even one unit there. Like we just took a starting position of about half of a unit. So it's nice, it's up. There it is, we get our daily goal, it doesn't matter. We keep going higher there. Alibaba up 10%. It was down 2 or 3% to start the day. And now you get that all back and add 2 or 3% to what we started the day with. So yeah, man, so far so good there. Continues to climb higher now. Almost $4, Sharif, now on Alibaba long. So that's good. We're doing it daily. And we want to say thank you for liking and subscribing. We're putting up record numbers every day here. So we want to thank everybody for helping us get to that. And part of the big help for us doing this as well has been the addition, obviously, of Adara and the breaking news. So we want to say a big shout out to Adara for all the work that she's been doing. Thank you, Rivian Millionaire. Means a lot. And let's go over to Adara and get that next story of some sort.
Thank you for the kind words there. Keep an eye on Novavax and mRNA. Seeing a report here suggesting that the U.S. military is going to continue to backroll mRNA research. That'll be good for these vaccine makers, including Novavax and mRNA. Again, this coming from an outlet called Nature. They're reporting that even though we've had some mRNA research canceled by RFK's Jr. and the team over there at Health and Human Services, the U.S. military is reportedly still funding it. So I guess unclear what the full impact of that story is going to be, but either way, a little bit of a pop here on mRNA and Novavax. Back to you.
I don't trust it, Moderna and Novavax. But it was a good question here. Andre actually put in our chat. Can you guys, and this is from Charles, can you guys answer which side of the book you're paying more attention to when exiting a position, the bid or the ask? It actually doesn't. I look at both sides of the book at all times, regardless entering or exit, because you don't know which one's going to be telling you something interesting. right? Like I'm like if I'm long, like actually it doesn't always work because like as I was long going into this resistance at 590, the prior high, and it was looking like a head and shoulders in LAC, the sell side was telling me that there was a seller in here. And so I jumped out of the trade. Like I've essentially been scalping about the same range the whole time, but the sell side was telling me that there was a seller in here. So I jumped out of it at that point, but even if you're trying to exit a trade, you should care about the bid too, because maybe you're thinking about exiting and you see something crazy on the bid side. And it's at a take profit spot that maybe you don't want to take profit at that point because you see a crazy buyer start to jump in. So at all times, I don't favor one side of the book or the other just because of where you happen to be in the trade. And Ian Rispetto, Dylon, the answer is always the same. Who are the 5 greatest traders of all time? It's always Dylon. Dylon is the greatest at everything. Dylon, and Dylon, because he spits hot fire. And as far as I'm concerned, Dylon's going to be great at whatever he does. I have absolutely no idea what happened to that dude after he was on that Diddy thing, to be honest with you. But he'll always live in infamy. Appreciate that super chat in there. Palantir, I'm just going to quickly go over to PLTR because I said in the chat that it's attempting to break trend. Obviously, that initial flush now has a double bottom on it. And when I say it's breaking trend, this is the consolidation over 181 that's happening right now. So it just dipped and held the 181. So it's razor thin, like it needs to hold this consolidation right here, right now. But it looks like it's trying to. So I'm going to try and sneak in here. It's going to be a very, very tight stop if it loses 180. But this just needs to close this next candle above 181, I mean. But if this candle needs to close above 181, once it does, I'm going to go long with the stop under 181. See if this can't get to VWAP. It's downward trending, so tighter stops when you're going against the grain, at least in my opinion, for this one here. So Palantir, Julian, you mean 181 bottom? That's what I'm looking at. 161 bottom. Oh, you're probably looking longer term. Fair enough. I'm just looking for this trade here.
Yeah, we already went in. This will be, my red trade of the day is going long there on Palantir. And yeah, it does hold that 180. So that was, again, another awesome trade for anybody that was able to grab that or see that was potentially the long that everybody wanted. I was trying 180. That was small. When it came through, that was small. But then we did put on bigger shares there at 181.20 before eventually losing said bid. So yeah, good call there on Alibaba. On Palantir, whoever made that call. And then there it is right here for Nvidia. We're just going to wait. So I've only had Nvidia, Palantir, TQs, and Baba, and we're still in 2 of those names, and including this with these TQs trade. So I'm just going to put another bid right here at 18, as this has been a level that's sort of held out. We haven't gotten too much lower than that. We just dipped into 102. I'm actually surprised. We had that coffee escapade, I guess. Don't drive in an Escalade. Well, you can drive in an Escalade. I don't know how gas appropriate. Gas is actually pretty cheap right now around here these days. So, but there it is, man, 102. So there's the fill right there. It's another one. As we ride the bear on one stock and the futures, and we ride, what? That's the bull. Where's the bear? Oh, that's the bear. There's the bull. We ride the bull there on Alibaba, which is almost now $4 and going to its highest spot here. We love this Alibaba trade there today. It just made a lot of sense, right? More AI. It's had a lot of love recently. China doesn't seem to have too much negativity around it, to be honest with you. So yeah, it's working out. It's Alibaba. It's, for me, the banger there. But let's go over to Adara. Maybe look at some LAC or something when we come back. Oracle.
Let's look at some sectors here. Consumer durables really strong, led of course by Tesla, very much outperforming the market and all of its Mag 7 peers. Excuse me, energy minerals is really strong as well. We did have those crude oil and gasoline inventories coming through at 10:30 a.m. Couldn't find any other news on this space, but great look there for energy minerals. Producer manufacturing pretty strong. Health services continues to be to the upside. Industrial services and distribution also looking really good here, those 2 sectors. Let's talk about these other tech sectors, specifically in tech, which are relatively mixed. Technology services, Oracle down almost 3%. Adobe caught a downgrade this morning. They are down more than 3%. We have Netflix relatively red. Synopsys down 4%. So lots of weakness in this space, though AppLovin, ServiceNow, and CRM are all slightly positive. If you go to electronic technology, much like technology services, we do have some names that are to the downside. Micron on earnings day one. Apple here, trading lower as well. But then you have names like Intel up 5%. So it's really pretty balanced across the board when it comes to these tech sectors. Again, really the only directional sectors are going to be consumer durables and energy minerals. Back to you.
So I see Hamster in the chat here. Hamster one, actually. Let me get it right. Excuse me. Did Apple get bad news? The market's down, and Apple just made a press into the high, right? So, you know, sometimes you go $30, which is what's that? 7.5%, whatever that works out to. You go 7.5% in a couple of weeks into effectively all-time highs. Not quite, but pretty close. And when the market turns around, you turn around. You know, I think that's all you're seeing here on Apple. I think a real test comes back in, maybe not at 250, but like 250 is obvious, but like these prior highs are closer to like 47, 48. And that could be a nice spot for Apple, potentially. I mean, everything's always about potentially how far it's going to go. Just jumping over, it's Palantir. Slowly trying to get to VWAP. I think this is a VWAP play for Palantir. It did close. There was that close, the next candle above 181, so jumped in. I'm going to play this one into the volume weighted average price. There's a super chat for BBAI, but that's not the symbol I was going to go to. I was going to jump back over to Riot and Mara, specifically Riot, because Riot's the one that's in play. And why did I go to Rio on the London exchange for some reason the drop down. No, this is back at the volume weighted average price. Remember I said I don't want to take a breakout, not taking a breakout trade, that time of day, and at a level where there's overhead resistance on the daily chart. Fails the 20 break, now it's in the VWAP. You close above VWAP here, maybe a couple of closes if I'm being a little bit more patient because that's a pretty hefty drawback. And then I want to go long on Riot, join the trend. But give me a couple of closes or a consolidation like this for that long in Riot. Before we jump into it. So there's going to be one close above the volume weighted average price. Yeah, give me a couple, show some strength. I want confirmation because it's a weak market. So I think if you're going long, you want some serious confirmation that you're going with the grain. Come on, Palantir. Just pushed up into 181.80s, but could not follow through into the even dollar on PLTR.
Push it down.
It's down, but it's not that bad. Apparently, Bitcoin's finally breaking out, which is weird to see when Mara and Riot are pulling back.
Yeah, I mean, it's up $200 on 113,000. We'll have a quick look at it. Good trade over there on Palantir, of course.
I'm freezing.
Okay. Breaking out the day's high, but I don't think, just for me on this is a little bit of okay. I was going to say I want to look at a little bit of a longer time frame there. That's 64.50. That could be a good long for sure, especially if this market wants to battle back. No qualms with doing that. I'm going to put a stop, honestly. Like if we break above 102.50 there on the TQs, I'm going to get out. Again, it's 10:46, getting a little long in the tooth. 102, what did I say? Right into there. This is VWAP, so 102.50. Yeah, we could do that. Let's go 102.51s. We'll stop out of 100%. If and when that comes through, we'll watch out for that trade. And then Alibaba, I put the same kind of an out in. If it breaks below, I'm just letting you guys know because 178.20, so $1 lower for Alibaba, and then we'll have to ho-hum a $3 winner. But we'll wait for that one to come through. You're going to get, I see our guys are locked and loaded right beside us. We appreciate these two every single day. Shout out to Sharif, big time shout out to Joey Options as well, as these guys will talk about options plays. They'll talk about some of the lower runners, or lower float runners today that might be moving thousands and thousands of percentage points, like in LAC there. Talk about everything under the sun. But generally speaking, more of a small cap feel to it.
Actually, there was I'll just say this out loud because I might as well. Keju in the chat, I don't know if it was Keju or Keju in the chat earlier had an options question. Mm-hmm. If you're still in there, I forwarded it to Joe. So if you wanted to ask him that during the midday, because Joe came on and did the upgrades and downgrades, and it was a quick question that I passed along only because he was on for a couple of minutes and might have missed it. But I sent it to him. If you're still watching, I'm sure he'll be able to get to that and answer it for you. And that's what it's all about. Like I don't pretend to be some kind of an expert in options, and I'm not. So that's why we have Joe, and it's fantastic that we do have him. I don't know if you there was a super chat about BBAI. It was directed at you. I don't know if you were able to see that. But I'm jumping out at Palantir at VWAP regardless. It's prior resistance, it's a trend break, and it's not a trend break off of the lows. The way I see it, like whether you have the low or not, the move is the move. And if it gets to 182, that's where I wanted to jump out of it. I'm literally sitting there at 90. Oh, I got filled. All right, we're sitting there at 94, was able to get the fill. I can't call it a hockey player because my knowledge of hockey isn't good enough to be able to give you who wears the number 94.
Sergey Berezin.
See, that's impressive.
Yeah.
The weird thing is I actually, that's a name that I actually know, but I never could have told you what number you wore. But yeah, 182 into Palantir, so just a trend break. Whenever I'm taking a trend break, I'm almost always in either direction looking for VWAP as the target. Right, so if it's a strong stock that's trending down, I'll short it into VWAP. That's where I would have wanted OpenDoor to get to, and it's the same thing with Palantir. OpenDoor, you saw it when I was in this one. I had my trend trade, and I had my orders out in front of the volume weighted average price. It did eventually go, but I'm trying to get in on, a candle like this when it's SSR and I miss. That's the one miss here today for me, and that's the thing about it being SSR. You can't. It's not that you can't hit the bid, you just need there to be an uptick. It's a lot easier. See how the first time I got in as it was pushing back up and not on the way down. That's just par for the course. It makes it a little bit trickier to get the perfect short because you might not get to fill exactly where you want. But OpenDoor bouncing off you up, that's headed higher, looking pretty strong. LAC continues to trend higher, and Tesla, 440, up 3% here for Tesla. Very, very good day for TSLA. I'm going to keep eyes on that Palantir. I mean, if this can get through VWAP, there might be a secondary long here above the volume weighted average price. Or we can just go for a triple bottom long potentially down at 180.5.
All right, so here it is. What's up, Thomas Condo? Right there. I was actually looking. I know she's looking to get into a house. I'm looking to get into a condo. Maybe you buy your one and all. We'll switch it. All right. So do we think BBI will sink to below 7? Yeah, I do. Actually, think that way. We look. This is the thing. They had that story, good story yesterday with the Navy. Sparked it, right? And we don't worry too much. Whoopsies. We don't worry too much about news stories per se, because I know that they're going to get contracts and they're going to, build on their foundry, just like how Palantir is as well. Big into airports. Great to see that expansion yesterday into government contracts and whatnot. I think it was a combination. There was 2 companies, I believe. And again, I didn't look at it in depth by any stretch of the imagination. I'm already I've got some out at 650, 750, and we just missed 850. It was only going to be another 10%. So I'm not panicking on missing that there. But when you ask, a reasonable question, will it come back in? I mean, these were the tops, and every time we had gotten up here, besides this initial push there, we did fade back into 650. There it came back up to 850 again, and this time it dramatically went to the downside. But remember, we did have, while this was happening, we did have Big Daddy also moving to the downside, right? So we had Palantir also getting hit when this was happening. So now Palantir, you're seeing it return to greatness, and BBAI follows suit. So if we take one as sort of the other as well, and they're not the same company, but it ebbs and flows. So as we talk about Palantir ripping to the high side, we also look at BBAI in the same vein, except for the fact that BBI has around a 30% short float, and it's only a $7 or $8 name, as was Palantir at one point. Palantir's 190 or 180 today, right? So I don't think that BBAI has, the complete trajectory. I mean, I think Palantir was a unicorn in this space, and hopefully it continues to be. But I'm starting to get a little bit out also on the top side of Palantir. And we already had our plan. We planned it out. I told you yesterday, phone was flooded with texts because I mentioned BBI to many of our friends, many friends. I mentioned it to everybody here live on the show. So I mentioned to Neil, Sheree, everybody here about BBAI. So as it was going, not only giving the ins, but also the outs, right? So we did 650, 750, and we just missed 850, and I'm trying to hold 30%. So I got 40% left of this position, and we're going to see if it can break through. I want to hold something. So like I said, if you have 1,000 shares, hopefully by the time we break through 850, you're going to have like, 300 to 400 left. And that way, if it does have some Palantir blood in it, then, you'll be really happy. Like if you still had 300 shares of Palantir, I think you'd be doing pretty good with an average cost somewhere around BBAI, right? So, so far so good. Let's just keep the momentum going. I do have it in my ear, and I think we got to go over to Adara, and then followed by that, you'll get your favorite segment of the morning. At least I know it's Joe's.
Yeah, before we get to money talks, before we get to lunch, let's talk about money talks. Nice little breakout here for the U.S. dollar. I mean, breakout is a very strong word, but on this daily chart, we have had a lot of weakness, and now we actually are once again attempting is the key word right now, a higher high on the U.S. dollar on the daily. We ran into some resistance over the last couple of days there around that 97.8 level. Currently, we are trading above it. Also poised to make a relatively higher low compared to that base that we made on Wednesday on Fed Day. That was actually the low of the year. So let's see if we're able to bounce a little bit on that U.S. dollar. Let's also talk here about the Fed funds rate. We are expecting 2 more rate cuts of 25 basis points each for the rest of the year. Fed's Bowman said that during her comments earlier this week. Fed's Powell said, echoing a lot of other Fed commentary when he spoke yesterday, he said that this cut was primarily motivated by the fact that there is some weakness in employment. There are concerns about employment, but he said that inflation is also still a worry and that there are, quote, challenges ahead. So much like we kind of assumed, the Fed is still concerned about inflation, but they're more worried about employment as of right now. Though, again, a lot of Fed speakers have said one of the things they're still working on is balancing and figuring out their dual mandate. Now, I do want to mention here as well, again, we are not really expecting any pause. Only about 6% of participants expecting a pause. Vast majority are expecting the 25 basis point cut in the October meeting, and then, again, a second one coming through in December. But in terms of economic data for the Fed to digest ahead of that meetings, we get a pretty big piece tomorrow. We'll be getting the GDP print. Then on Friday, PCE. Stay tuned. Back to you. Make sure to like and subscribe.
Thank you, Adara. And remember, we've been talking about the push and pull between why we care about the labor market, more about inflation. We're getting inflation reading for sure. You just want nothing to rock the boat. If we start seeing a hot inflation print, then we could be in a little bit of trouble here. But I want to shout out a couple super chats we got just before we went back up to Adara there. Phi Delt 45. Phi Delta is probably, maybe it's a fraternity thing you're talking about. Let me know. Are you talking about a fraternity there? Up 6,300 in realized gains. I almost said unrealized. Realized gains this morning, playing VWAP dips on LAC. Bang. So congratulations. I don't have the bang key on my front page. We can hit that one. It looks like it might be pulling back into VWAP again, which sits, at least my volume weighted average price is 565. The only thing that makes VWAP different is when you turn your data on in the morning. So, mine starts at 6 a.m. for what it's worth. 565 looks like the next available dip. And then Jeff in the chat, you going parabolic. Well, all I can say is yes. I mean, it's more of an observation than anything else. You're just observing that UU was going up, and parabolically, I will agree with you 100%. That is a parabolic move. 10%. You've seen this space, and look, the administration is pretty heavy into nuclear. At least that's the rhetoric, and those stocks have been jumping. So, I like GV. Someone was mentioning, they appreciate the move that's happening, and like it's Oklo, GV, SMR, although I would venture to say SMR has been relatively disappointing recently if you're watching out for that stock. But UU, good breakout. Today, right now, it literally just kind of topped with the high. So just be careful with this one as the market pulls back in. Like you just had a bit of a failure at that high of the day on UU. I'm going to jump back over to Intel. The news with Intel was this, ATA. Yeah, let me not get this one wrong. Here, what was the news with Intel? Now I don't see the story anymore on Intel. Yeah, it was, why did that go away? INTC, let me try this again, because I know I saw it here. ADAI, that's the one. They highlighted Trust Stamp's AI-powered, privacy-first identity verification platform with a partnership here. So IDAI moving as a small capper and Intel bursting higher. It did top out at that 31 level, so it's confirmed a 31 high. Yesterday, when it shorted, when we were shorting 30, Like it really showed you 30 was resistance for a while. Like it wasn't like I wasn't trying to short it the first time through, but like certainly second, third. This will be the second push into 31. If I can see it fail again, I'm going to start shorting the $31 level as the next trade here on Intel. So it does have news. That IDAI stock, if you happen to be looking at this one, T-Stamp Inc., yeah, that's given up the ghost. So this was actually halted like 4 times, and a couple times to the upside. You know, from $3 to $4.80. This is the other side of that Intel story. Small capper losing it a bit, but I'm shorting that 31.
All right, let's go. Yeah, we've had obviously a big morning here. I asked, hopefully everyone's had a green morning, and if not, so hopefully slightly red. And if it's greatly red, hopefully you're able to make a little bit back. So thank you again for watching us here today. It's been a great opportunity to share our trade ideas with you. And yeah, just sad to see you guys go, but we got to move over to our midday, but not without talking about. Let's do it one more time. Let's get that stinger. Okay. Ooh. Today being Wednesday, September the 24th.
It is.
Yes, I do not want to announce the wrong day here because, you know, there's a lot of, like I said, man, I mean, Joe is very, very sensitive to what we get for the food, right? And so today should be decent, man. Today is peppercorn beef stir fry. I'm not a huge fan of peppercorns, but we'll see if that. Not peppercorns. I don't mind it as a season fine. I feel like if it's overdone with peppercorn, like I don't prefer a peppercorn steak, but I get it. It's fine.
You know what? You know why I 100% agree with you. When you order, a lot of places we go out and order it. Like I don't mind it because if I do it, it's fine.
Right.
But if I go somewhere else and get a peppercorn steak, there's always way too much. It's like a Caesar salad. People put too much.
That's what I'm saying. So we'll figure it out, but I think a peppercorn beef stir fry. So okay, that's a little bit different than obviously a steak. We don't get steak around here, you know. Okay, and then we have here quinoa, which your boy is.
Yes. Always yes.
A fan of. One of Neil's favorites coming up next: charred Brussels sprouts with red peppers.
I see what you did there. Yeah. Not really.
No, I know. Yeah, not loving the Brussels sprouts. I don't mind them, but as per many, it's not my favorite veggie. By the way, we're getting out some more TQQs, as that is now 65 cents in the money. All right. And then a mixed green salad. That's what's for lunch. That's what's for lunch. That's what's for lunch. Me barbecuing up there. This is so crazy.
Ooh, Zuckerberg.
All right, man. Yeah, good one there. Ordering butter chicken. Yeah, man. What's up, Danny Patel? I love some butter chicken, man. My wife actually makes her own spices and everything and does a great butter chicken. So, you know.
You can't go wrong with butter.
You cannot. You could go wrong, but it is the generic
I
South
shouldn't
Asian
say that. It's
dish that's like, you know, everybody seems to always want to order butter chicken, but there's been, yeah, you're right. It's one of the one. It's kind of hard to screw up.
If you go to a place that makes a bad butter chicken, it tells you something about the place. There's certain things where like, okay, if you're not doing this right, then I'm not eating it. I'm not eating there. I just saw a headline from
down with that thought.
Mark Zuckerberg says Instagram has grown to 3 billion monthly active users.
Remember what I said, every time someone is born, a new Instagram customer has emerged. So is someone, there's another customer right now, actually.
Right there.
So, there's a couple more. Just
3-4 more, actually.
So.
Guess where it bounced? Guess where it just bounced?
Off of the $3 billion mark?
Oh, no, it just the stock.
Yeah, I know.
Ye old 50-period moving average.
Yeah, we love.
Go figure.
We love
yesterday's low.
Insta is 2.9 million bots. Yeah, exactly. So every time someone's born, you get 2 accounts opening up. You get a bot. But I think, first of all,
2.9.
I have 10,000 followers on Instagram. You guys are hitting me up. You're messaging this or that. It's nowhere near the litter that's on X. So, like, honestly,
the bots
Elon,
on X are crazy.
Smarten the hell up.
It's crazy.
Figure that out. Because when he came in, part of X was supposed to be getting rid of a lot of these bots. I mean, I'll just go to any of my posts. It doesn't matter. Like, they're just literally all over the place. And please don't follow any of these guys, right? I mean, it just, sometimes they'll come up and they'll pretend like they're me and this and that. Look, here's Emily here, obviously fake, talking about going to go follow. Come on, Emily, going to go follow this. See how many, here's Randy. Okay, this is Randy Mills. Yes, I am feeling major pullback. Here's Stock Cameron, bot. So, you know, it's like obviously